Okay. Hey, everybody. Hey, it's my birthday. It's on the stick, Joe's birthday stream, and I am Joe. And with me here on Discord is Eric.
Hey.
Which is, you know, it's honestly, it's too bad that you're not here in the room with me and we play Contra together. But
you probably wouldn't get to play as long if I was.
Man, I helped. The thing was, the first year we went to PAX East, I helped Mike limp his way through Contra. He used, I think,
Contra
all
or
of my.
3?
No, Contra, OG Contra. I think he used all of his lives and all of mine. So we're starting with Contra because it's my favorite game of all time. If you listen to our NES draft, you know that. Because Eric stole it from me. Yeah. Lousy so-and-so. Yeah, for a second time, in fact. And you'll notice that I only have 3 lives, and that's because I ain't using that code. Let's see if I can do a no death run.
Pass on it this time.
Yeah, that's true. This time I'd made the decision that if I had gotten a pick, if it hadn't been picked by the time I got my first pick, I would have picked it. So yeah, we'll see. I'm gonna see if I can do a deathless run. It's been a while since I've played Contra, so I might be a little bit rusty.
Does that mean like a month ago, or like?
There goes my deathless run. It means.
What the fuck are you doing, man?
Yeah, that's a real good question. That's stream irony, right? That's like, I'm gonna try for a deathless run. Immediately dies. So, you know, that's just how that goes. But no, it's been, yeah, I don't know. I think the last time I sunk real time into Contra was when I played it during Extra Life like 2 years ago. That was the last time I like played some Contra. So I'm like kind of glancing over at the chat, and that's not going to help me. I should wait till the end of stages to catch up on the chat. So
I can turn it off.
I was gonna say, if somebody else is around to watch the chat, that'd be good, but I'm not gonna. I feel like I should just shit can this run and start over. In fact, you know what? That's what I'm gonna do. Let's see. Arthur Spilling says birthday cake, fancy tropical drink, game controller. Thank you. I assume that's a happy birthday in emoji. Riot.exe says shit's getting real. You and Eric need to have a Contra reclamation match over that shit. And he was playing a bunch of Contra hardcore earlier today. Took a path he's never gotten that far on. That game is hard. I like that game a lot, but it's so hard. Eric and I played that on my couch once. That game's hard, but I like it. I like the Japanese version. Japanese version's a little better because it gives you a little more leeway. It's a lot harder to get just like mercilessly destroyed because you get 3 hit points in the Japanese version of Contra. And you know, who knows? Maybe I'll play some of that when the night is out. Although right now I just have my NES and my Super NES in here. I'd have to go grab it on this side of the next room, which is not a huge operation. So I might do that. Just have to remember that per Nintendo's new guidelines, if I change games, I have to either show the cart or like collapse the stream if it shows the menu of my flash card, because you're not supposed to stream any NES games using nefarious methods of any kind. Even the game that I would play, I definitely want an actual cartridge with. And this is just, in a lot of ways, the flash card is for simplicity's sake when streaming, because actually swapping cards and then if they don't load right, it's easier to just boot back to the flash card menu and switch over to punch out or whatever, rather than put an actual punch out cartridge in. Though I do have an actual punch out cartridge that I could put in the system if I wanted to. Anyways, so yeah, I'm all set for some Super NES and NES games at least, and I can go grab those systems if I decide I want to play something else. But this is really just going to be a, you know, how do I feel? What do I feel like playing tonight? So Smoke Monster says happy birthday. Thank you, Smoke Monster. Dolly Popka says I can never get far in this game, and Mark Offit, if I mispronounce that, I'm sorry. I think it's Offit. Says happy birthday, criminally underrated channel. I appreciate that. And you know, Popka, practice makes perfect, man. And I just happen to have practiced this game a whole bunch over the course of my life. I can
this is one of the easier Contra games.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, whenever people are like, "This Contra's so hard," I'm like, "Is it though?" Like, I feel like it might be the.
I mean,
again,
it
a lot
is.
of it has
It's
to
a fucking hard game, but in the Contra pantheon, it's one of the easier ones.
Yeah, compared to hardcore and even Contra 3.
Contra 3 is way more difficult for sure.
Super C, I would say, is probably on about the same level.
Yeah, I find Super C just not as good, so it's not as much fun to play.
Yeah, kind of going to like the standard overhead stages instead of like this thing that we're looking at right here. You know, I think was like, I get it, you know, splitting the game between like your sort of standard run and gun overhead and side scrolling, but like these sort of false 3D things were sort of so unique. You know, that's sort of the dope thing about them, right?
Yeah. That's the overhead start stages in Super C.
Like, they're fine.
Specifically the one where the things come up out of the ground. I think it's the second one of those. I don't really like that much.
And in Contra 3, they show off the Mode 7, and that's dope, but the bosses that you fight in those top-down stages in Contra 3 are ridiculous. Dolly Popka says, I'm just terrible at them, so I guess I've got that going for me.
That's fine.
Which is nice. Yeah, there's no shame in that. Also, Dolly Popka, by the way, he just did a video on Defender that I was in, talking about the original arcade version of Defender. If you haven't checked that out, you should check out his channel. And his show Viridian Flashback, it focuses on vintage games for the original Xbox. So, shout outs to Dolly Popka. He's also got
Defender is a great game.
Yeah, it seems like the Xbox PS2 revival of it is maybe not that great, from what he said. But the
Defender is a great game.
Yeah, right. Oh, I missed the invincibility. That's sloppy. And man, the soundtrack in this game is just so good. So I thought about playing the Famicom version of this game, which has enhanced visuals but not enhanced audio, which I think is a semi-common misconception. The Castlevania games have enhanced audio, so people are like, oh, Contra has different music, and it doesn't. It has the same music, but it's got some more animations in the background and stuff. But I just went with the US version because it's the one that I'm familiar with. Yeah, I got my first NES roundabouts 21 years ago. No, 31 years ago. Jesus, 31 years ago. This week. And that really just fucked up my life forever. And it's weird because, you know, a lot of people, I find, seem to have these really super clear memories of when they got certain games or certain things. And for me, it's kind of harder because my birthday and Christmas are so close to each other that it's like, oh, did I get such and such a game for my birthday, or did I get it for Christmas, or what's the deal there? So I don't have those sort of super clear memories. I couldn't tell you what games I got with my... I think I just got the NES for my birthday with Mario Duck Hunt. You know, 2 controllers and a zapper and everything. And then I got a stack of games for Christmas that year, which I remember like Donkey Kong Classics I got right away, Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, Ghostbusters.
I got Mario and Zelda. I don't think I got another game for birthday, probably.
I don't remember if I got Zelda or not right away. I don't think I did.
My dad had made a little stand and put it on top of our TV, and I really picked up when I got up in the morning. That was all I did all day, was play Zelda and Mario.
Yeah. Arthur Spilling says next do a fire-only run. Never.
Yeah,
never. That is the worst weapon in this game.
Nah, that's not true.
It is. I'd rather have the pea shooter than the fire.
Fire, especially in the side-scrolling levels, the fact that it covers more area than like some of the other ones makes it easy. None of the bosses in this game are that difficult, but you really need to for high speed. That's true. Fire is nice because you can focus on dodging and not necessarily have to worry about landing.
So But that's sort of the
it's
same
like
thing with
a shittier
Spread.
version of Sprite. It's a shittier version of Sprite.
Dolly Popka says, sounds legit. I got an NES with Mario Duck Hunt World Class Track Meet on Christmas. Oh, so one, that tells me you got your NES later than I got mine. And two, it tells me that you got a power pad with yours, which is kind of dope. I have that cartridge, because I think that's just, like, fun to have that cartridge. And also, when I bought it, that was still when you could get Mario Duck Hunt and all its variants for, like, $3, which, like, now people want, like, $20 for a fucking Mario Duck Hunt or a Mario Duck Hunt World Class Track Meet. That's
true.
Dumb. Go to eBay right now if you're not in the middle of an Overwatch match and look at what people want for a Mario Duck Hunt these days.
Those things were like a nickel.
Yeah, they were a quarter. Like I remember that, like Funko Land used to unload those things for less than $1 for sure.
Anything more than like $5.
I mean, those are two good games. And actually something I might do tonight, it's hard for me to stream and do it at the same time, so you have to be lined up a little better, but there's some fine people who have been hacking the ROMs of light gun games for the NES, and I got a light gun that actually works, so I've been able to play like Hogan's Alley on my flat screen TV. It's kind of dope.
$3.50, $7.95.
$7.95. That's $7.95 for a Mario Duck Hunt. Seems wrong.
A lot.
In some way.
Like I said, you should be able to buy about what's 7 times 4? 28 copies.
Yeah. That's really how I feel. Okay, so I exaggerate a little bit, but I've seen people try to sell them for that much. I guess maybe they're not always going for that much, but I have definitely seen people try to upload them for close to that, and just been like, come on, man, like, that ain't right.
For the Zapper, $17.
There you go. Dolly Popka says, yeah, it's sad what NES carts go for, especially the common ones. Dude, the whole vintage gaming bubble thing that we've got going on right now is, it's just, it's flabbergasting to me. And I mention this stuff, and I'm not, and I mention it on social media and on Instagram and stuff too, but I'm not trying to, and so I think some people maybe think that I'm trying to like brag about my collection or whatever, and I'm trying to point out how ridiculous and overinflated these games are, which is why I'm a big proponent of these flashcards that are around now, because it's ridiculous that someone would pay $100 for Splatterhouse 2, a game that I got for $5 like 7 years ago. Like, that's
ridiculous.
Dumb.
That someone would pay me $120 for a copy of Mega Man X3, but this is the world that we live in.
But at least you came out on the right side of that transaction.
I did, because I bought that game for like $10, and then I played it a little bit, and it's not that great.
It's not that good, yeah. And it's also like way easier if you want to play that game. There are easy and cheap ways to do it.
Right, it made, actually the prices made a lot more sense 10 years ago before we had all the collections and the virtual console stuff and all the various collections on,
Wow, now I'm just gonna take a bunch of deaths apparently because I forgot how to make this jump. That's embarrassing. Wow, okay, well, you know what? It's not a deathless run, but it's gonna be a 1cc. Do no continues. Nexus Creed says, happy birthday. Thank you, sir. They call me 17 shot. That's a really fucking deep cut of a joke. Some people might not get that. Kenny Riot left a big comment about the collector's market.
The collector's market has really fucked things up for people trying to experience gaming history on actual hardware. It's not like the game makers are seeing those dollars, Yeah, that's how I feel about it. That's why I don't feel bad about emulating things or
using a flash card.
Unsold stuff. Yeah, or flash cards or whatever.
Yeah, if you want to play games on original hardware, like any system that has an EverDrive for it, get an EverDrive. That's the way to go. That's what I'm doing right now.
Yep. Dolly Popka says, I just get the collection. Yeah, no crap.
Yeah. Nexus Creed says, hope you're not in a police state. No, I'm not playing Mega Man. I'm not playing Mega Man yet, Nexus Creed, so I'm not in a police state. Yet. But it could happen at any time. See, I'm going to show you how effective the laser can be here. You have to understand.
It's fine. It's just the least interesting. It's probably it is definitely my least favorite thing.
Well, I mean, this you know, OG Contra only has 4 power-ups, right? Four weapons.
Right.
It's got the laser, the spread, the fire, and the machine gun. Ah.
Scrolling off.
Arthur Spilling says, I'm so used to the Famicom version. The stage looks weird without the trees moving. Yeah, the trees wave in the breeze in the background. Oof, that should not have happened. That was a bad death. I mean, there are no good deaths, but that was embarrassing. So I've made world record runs at this, but never quite gotten there. I think if I technically posted my best score, I would be like... There's a bunch of people tied for first, because this game, the score locks at a certain point, so you can max out the score counter. But... That was nonsense. But I think I'd be in, like, 3rd or something. Wow! This is what I get for talking and playing at the same time, I think. I'd have, like, the 3rd or 4th best score after, like, the 20 people who were tied for first.
I gotta see the videotape, or I mean, I can't take notes.
Well, you know, I think my best run still was done in front of Twin Galaxies official, technically, because I think it was done in front of Ken Sushi X Williams, who is a Twin Galaxies referee. So I believe that there is some level of legitimacy to that. Also, man, if you had told me when I was a kid that someday there would be a website where you could interact with random people all across the internet and that Trickman Terry at VGM would wish me a happy 36th birthday, I would not have believed you. But Trickman Terry wished me a happy 36th birthday today, so shout outs to Trickman Terry. Who is a super nice guy, by the way. He owns an arcade in Lisle, Illinois, if you ever are down there. Check out the Pixel Blast Arcade, which is owned by Trickman Terry Minich.
Dean Stahl says, hi Eric, and happy birthday, Joe.
Hey Dean, happy birthday, Dean.
Did some fine artwork.
He's done a lot of fine artwork. He did
for
Wooden Maneuver.
And for Wooden Maneuver. And Nexus Creed says, ever play Contra 4 on the DS?
I did. A guy that we kind of know produced that game.
Yeah.
Actually,
a good friend of a good friend.
A good friend of a good friend, yeah. I actually met and talked to Tom and his wife quite a bit at Anthony's wedding. He's a good dude. He gets a bunch of shit for quote-unquote ruining Silent Hill, which is total nonsense.
Silent Hill was ruined long before he did it.
Yeah, Silent Hill was ruined before Tom Hewlett got close to it. Oh, I have that power up. Also,
anytime anybody tries to blame a single person for a mediocre video game, it's a totally, that's a ridiculous position to take.
That's absurd. Absolutely.
But yes, I have played Contra 4 on the DS. That's a hard video game. I had a real difficult time transitioning from screen to screen.
Yeah, adjusting to this screen scrolling took a while for me too, but I like that game a lot.
It's very well. It's a very well designed package.
I did all the challenges and unlocked all the shit in that game. I had a lot of fun with that game.
Looks great. I always wanted to try
great.
that on an emulator with the screens like lined up properly. To see if I could do a little bit better with it that way, but that game is much more difficult than the original Contra.
Yes, but it's also like the only way you can get NES Contra on something that isn't an NES, which is sort of ridiculous.
Riot.exe says, playing Contra 1 and 2 through Contra 4 is not a good time though. The scaling is weird.
Yeah, it does weird things to the graphics, which I don't love. But if you want to play
kinda
OG
like
Contra on the go,
Super Mario Bros. Deluxe on the Game Boy Color.
A little different than that. That just cuts a bunch of stuff off, right? That just changes the resolution, so there's a bunch of stuff you're not seeing anymore, which is terabad. But
either way, it's not an ideal situation. Coffee says, I'm going to get food and I'll be there in a bit.
Cool. Looking forward to it, Paul. Thanks, Cardfreck, for the birthday wishes, and hey, Demguts, how you doing? What's up with Mike? You should, like, ping Mike. Bug Mike.
I don't want to talk to Mike.
Alright, fine. Fair enough. Filthy Canuck.
Right, EXE says, if you keep the screen ratio as it's supposed to be, you get pan and scan where there wasn't before, so you get that same default face nonsense. Cigarette Juice Man says, happy birthday. Do you like Contra Hardcore on Genesis?
I do. It's super hard, but I like that. I said this earlier, but I like the Japanese version a little bit better because it's a little bit more forgiving. It gives you the health bars, you don't lose your weapons as easily and that kind of stuff. Oh, and there's a 30 life code that actually works the Japanese version, which is very helpful if you actually want to finish that game.
Yeah, Contra Hardcore. I've not really gotten very far in that, but
I mean, any game.
This is the run on GiantBomb.com, and that was an excellent series that went on for a very long time.
A really long time.
Extremely difficult, especially when you play it co-op. I assume probably, like most Contra games, it's probably more difficult playing it co-op than it is playing by yourself. Just some of the boss patterns in that game are really.
Get ready for a giant pulsating nutsack.
I'm all for any 8 or 16-bit era side scroller that has branching paths and multiple characters.
Yeah, all that stuff is cool. It's really sad what has become of Konami. Like, they were the, arguably the best in the industry, or certainly among the best in the industry, at one time. To see now that it's just like fucking pachinko and slot machines all the way down. Yep. Alright. So that was a 1
Contra,
CC.
Congratulations.
Yeah. I've defeated the vile Red Falcon and saved the universe. I should consider myself a hero.
Beanstall says, technical boss. Fair.
Mm-hmm. It really looks like a giant pulsating nutsack.
Lollipopka says, it could be worse, could be Sonic 1 on the GBA.
That port is fucking vile.
I never played that one, but...
It's real bad.
Demgut says, I find the controls a little loose in Contra for Genesis.
Yeah.
No, I never really had a problem with it. It's just a really hard game with just a lot of stuff going on. Nexus Creed says, Joe, I thought you would use a continue. Happy birthday indeed. I always believe in you, Joe.
I appreciate that, Eric. Special thanks to the AC Contra team, which is the arcade Contra. Thanks to them for creating a decent skeleton upon which a great game was built. Oh yeah, man, that's a good.
Well, this box art with Eric Estrada and Dolph Lundgren on it. Really good.
So I can, play through it again. But I don't think I'm gonna like try to meet the world record score or anything like that. I think let's see. Oops, that's the wrong. Oh. No, I went over clock. Okay. I think instead we are
Next
gonna
Creed
do.
says, dude, you need cake. Did you have some cake today?
I had a birthday cake shake from Good Stuff Eatery. which is free. The only way you can get a birthday cake shake at Good Stuff Eatery is to go in on your birthday, and you get one for free. But otherwise, you can't just order a birthday cake shake there. So, let's see here. What was I gonna do? Oh, I know what I was gonna do.
Play a different Contra game.
Close. I was actually going to play. The Japanese version of Life Force.
That's a good game.
Let's see. Nexus Creed said Double Dragon 2. You know what? I'll play some Double Dragon 2 after I play some Life Force, because I like that game a lot.
Cardfreak says Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, which is
I think we should ban Cardfreak from the chat for suggesting such a thing.
Come on.
I'm kidding. I don't actually want to ban him from the chat.
Double Dragon 2 is a very good game.
So this is another game where, there's not actually a difference in music, but there are some graphical differences. And most importantly, you can have 3 options instead of just 2 in this version. Also, the cartridge looks super dope, and when I get a second, I'm actually going to grab my actual, because I do actually have a cartridge of this as well. It's like a translucent blue. It's super dope looking. I'll show it on camera. When I inevitably die, or...
Dean Stahl had oatmeal raisin blondie today.
That's a good birthday. That's a good birthday treat. Dean and I have the same birthday, so.
Oh, I didn't know that. Happy birthday, Dean.
And I think actually Christine Love, who makes like weird like hentai sort of dating games, like indie games on H.I, I think she has the same birthday as well. I believe. And our friend Shivam's son has the same birthday too. So good day. It's a good day. December 10th is a good day to be born, it seems like.
Yeah, well, Christine Love also wrote Analog 8 Story, which was kind of an interesting...
Oh, she did write that, didn't she?
Yeah.
I actually wanted to play Lady Killer in a Bind. I still haven't played that, but that looked interesting to me, even though I'm not like the target audience for dating games generally. But that one looked kind of interesting, just in a way that it's different than a lot of those type of games.
And it's about like a kinky kind of thing, also.
It is about a kinky type of thing.
Probably the writing's better.
Yeah, probably. Can't be worse than fucking... What's that horrible thing we played in Extra Life last year? Ooh, that was not good. I should not have done that.
Are you talking about
that? Doki Doki Literature Club. Which I guess is not strictly speaking a dating game, but like, whatever.
It was fine.
No, it wasn't. It was not fine. It was decidedly not fine.
Nexus Creed says, I tried Section Z on a touchscreen today. I felt so old. You should have just felt sad.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm just going to be straight up honest with you, Nexus Creed. That was a mistake and you should have known going in. Like, was it arcade section? It doesn't matter if it was arcade or NES Section Z. Playing that game on a touchscreen seems like it is just not a good idea at all.
No, that seems like a bad time.
Yeah. Omega Jack Red 666 says happy birthday. Thank you, sir. This thing is called a golem for some reason, even though there's like a mythical monster called a golem that is nothing, that is not like a brain with arms. But for some reason,
there's some Jewish like religious law inside of its head that probably.
Yeah, a rabbi etched the name of God inside that brain somewhere. And then I guess it got out of control because this doesn't seem like something that a rabbi would want. You know. Oh man, the music in this game is so good too. That death that came in a bad spot, and it's kind of costing me, like retroactively, like not as well equipped.
Yeah, that's the only problem with this style of shooter is that you really get fucked when you die.
Yeah, games like Star Soldier are a little better about you just like when you take a hit, it downgrades your weapons, you know, to a certain extent. That's a little
Just
better
it
than
feels
just like
really bad
losing
to go from
everything.
a rolling ball of death to just like a dude with a pea shooter. Also.
Right. Yeah, well, you know, interestingly, man, so I saw this video, I tweeted about it, and I'm not gonna say who made it because I don't like giving outrage clicks to people. But I saw this video that some other people might have seen, you know, because it came up in my suggested this is the person that I like subscribe to. But it was a video basically about how pretty much every NES game design, or old games in general, are badly designed. And had no thought put into them besides, like, aping what the arcade was doing and trying to, you know, steal your quarter muncher sort of school of game design. And it was just so ridiculous.
Right. I mean, that's why that video exists, though, right?
Because it's ridiculous, right?
Just to make you get mad and then talk about it.
Right. But it's just like, the thing that I found so weird about it is the guy goes on and on about, you know, Shovel Knight is better than any other games from that time period, actually, because it does, like... And then he proceeds to list a bunch of things that old Mega Man games do. Like, specifically, it's like, oh, you know, it puts you in a situation where, like, it gives you a new mechanic, but it's, like, a pretty safe room to deal with that before it, like, throws a bunch of stuff at you. And I'm like, that's
like,
exactly
yeah, just about
what Mega Man does. And then it's like...
Especially 2 and 3 and...
Right. Yeah. And it's like, oh, if you take... Like, there are spikes, but, like, if you take a hit, you have invincibility frames that protect you from this... Wow, I just flew into a fucking rock. That was terrible.
A lot of old video games and stuff like that.
Right, and I was like, the only Mega Man game that doesn't give you vulnerability
Even
from the
Castlevania
spikes.
does that.
Yeah, the only one that doesn't give you vulnerability from the spikes is the first one. All the other Mega Man games, this is bad. This is real bad.
I mean, the people that made those games would tell you these things.
Right. You know.
Which isn't to say that if someone told me that they liked Shovel Knight more than Mega Man or old games, like, that's totally fine.
Sure, that's fine.
It's a great game.
But if you're like, if your reasoning is it does all these things that Mega Man 2 did in 1989, like that sort of, then I'm like, well, okay. You just slagged off Mega Man games for being, like, unfriendly to beginners or whatever, but they do literally the exact, you know, and, like, it was just a whole bunch of that stuff. And then at one point he just started talking about how they're ugly because they have, like, sprite flicker and stuff, and I was just like, you have no understanding of how these games were designed.
I mean, that's a technical issue, but
right.
It doesn't really, I guess.
And the sprite flicker, you know, I mean, a lot of times that was done on purpose to be able to...
Why are we talking about this? This is terrible. This is obvious trash clickbait.
Right. Well, that's why...
Don't talk about the trash Joe.
Hey, it's Mike.
Don't do it.
Hi, Mike.
You know,
Hi.
You know, Mike, Eric said he didn't want to talk to you earlier.
Well, that's all right, because fuck him.
I stand by my statement.
He's just going to use sign language.
Yeah. It's just one, buddy, right here. You can't see me, but I'm holding up my middle finger.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Let's see. Sky Reynolds says, just joined. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Snarkcast Productions says, funny how in the arcade it's just called a mutant, as the voice says, destroy Eye of Mutant. Nexus Creed says, I want the freshest cat possible, which is probably a reference to something I don't get.
It's a reference to the theme song for same name, different game.
Okay. Sky Reynolds says, man, this game is so frustrating. I only made it to the 3rd level. Yeah, it's a little tough. I don't know. I stink at these types of games, so I have no I I have no concept of what's a hard one and what's an easier one.
I was the world's 4th greatest shoot 'em up player for like 3 years running. Nothing if not consistent.
Let's see. Let me play this again. Both the NES and arcade. You ever play the arcade sequel? Not as good in my opinion. So
Yes. Salamander 2 it's okay. It's not as good though. He's right.
Okay. Nexus Creed says slowdown is horrible, but this looks awesome. True.
I mean, that slowdown kind of helps you though, if we're being honest. Like, some of that slowdown is like, oh man, thank God I'm not instantly dead. Oh my God.
It's still something you'd prefer not to have.
Yeah, maybe. I suppose.
You pick.
I'm continuing.
Dolly Papa says, I feel this person didn't do a lot of research.
No, they did not.
Sky Reynolds says, Poison of Snake is an awesome boss theme.
It really is. The music in this game is so good.
That's a great...
It's a great name for a boss theme, too.
Yeah, it is. Nexus Creed says, thoughts on Gyrus?
Gyrus?
Gyrus. Sorry.
Gyrus.
Gyrus or Gyrus? Aren't those two different games?
Gyrus is a different game than Gyrus, yes. He's asking about Gyrus, which is the sort of Konami take on Tempest. It's fine. I don't know. It's fine. The music's good. As with most Konami games of this vintage, the music is good. Oof.
So what's going on in Canada tonight, Mike?
Well, I guess I'm a little obsessed with Slay the Spire right now, but I just can't get a freaking win in like the full 4-act game now that they've added the final act and true final boss to the game.
Oh, really?
Like,
so you haven't slayed the Spire.
I think
the
I
true
told
and
you
final boss the Spire?
Well, I somehow I
So you can
thought
slay
maybe
him?
you would beat it right now.
Final boss is the heart of the Spire.
Oh. Shit.
You know what I'm saying?
So it's like Contra.
I guess very much so. Almost exactly the same.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So there's the game had 3 acts and there are 3 characters, and then they added a 4th act. To get the 4th act, you have to finish the game with each of the 3 characters, and then start a new game. So once you finish the game with each of the 3 characters, then they add in a couple of challenges you have to complete. You basically have to collect 3 keys, and each of those requires you to kind of sacrifice a good thing or go up against a tough boss. So it makes it a little bit harder to get through the game if you want to try and access the last act, and then you have to do the last act, which has a really tough mini boss and then a seemingly very tough final boss also. And I got there one time and I kind of got wrecked, and since then it's just been non-stop failure, just like fail town, population me.
Aw.
Yeah. So
You'll do it eventually.
well, I hope so, but because the thing is, I kind of can't let this go. Like I really want to get.
Let it go, Ailes. Let it go.
I can't. I won't. You can't make me. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm just kind of stuck on this right now. It's like, well, I've got to move on with my life. Got to do other things, but not until I make some progress.
Slayed the Spire.
Not until the Spire is dead.
Play right now.
I know. All that kind of stuff. I got a Kerbal, and that Ashen looks really cool.
Man, I am loving the hell out of Ashen. I think it's really great.
Well, I'm glad that you think that, but I can't play it until I get a win in this game.
There's also, I don't know if you saw that weird, like, animal-based tactical shooter thing came out.
Mutant Year Zero?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard mixed things.
I really want to check that out. I hope it's good, because I just bought it, so
Okay.
I'll let you know.
Yeah, let us know if it's not good.
Yeah.
Certainly.
In the comments, like and subscribe. I'm trying to do a claw deck this time. That card that gets stronger every time you play it.
Yeah, I had a real nice one of those. I pretty much just walked through the last second half of the 3rd stage.
I got 3 of them in my deck now.
Yeah. I also had an Apotheosis and a bunch of block too. So
Apotheosis is so good. I haven't got one of those this time.
Apotheosis was my favorite card when I played that back in January, and it still seems like it's really fucking fun.
It's so good. What's not to like, you know?
It just makes your whole deck good for 2 mana.
God. Ugh.
This fire effect is something else. Like back in
Yeah, it really was. It really was. Alright, well, I'm going to move on to Double Dragon 2 since someone mentioned that in chat a while ago.
That's a good game.
Nexus
Until
Trios,
the later
this
stages.
is the fake Gradius. No, this is... I speak, I guess, only for myself, but my friends thought this was Gradius 2 for a long time. Which it's not Gradius 2. There is a different Gradius 2. But we thought it was Gradius 2, basically until we learned later that there was a Gradius 2 that never came out in the US. But it is a Konami game. Yeah, Gradius 2 is a totally different game than Life Force.
Which just stars the same main character.
Yep. Let's see here. Snarkcast Productions, it kind of explains that in the chat and then talks about the MSX games, which are totally different, and yeah, those are weird offshoots, those MSX games.
Those things scroll like ass, don't they?
Yeah, they do. They kind of give me a headache, honestly. Like, I like them, but they sort of give me a headache. One of the PSP Salamander Portable, I think it is, for the PSP has one of them, like a full remake of one of the MSX games that scrolls smoothly and has updated graphics and stuff, which is pretty dope. Let's see here. Cameras to Ghost says happy birthday, thank you. And Cigarette Juice Man says, any awesome birthday memories of playing or receiving games? Man, I could tell you a million of them. Because when I was...
If you played video games when you were a kid, chances are you got video games for your birthday.
Well, when I was young, I would have my birthday party at Chuck E. Cheese every year. When Chuck E. Cheese had like a full-on... basically was an arcade.
Good stuff.
Which was... I mean, that was Nolan Bushnell's whole thing, was to make arcades family-friendly. That was why he opened Chuck E. Cheese.
It's kind of hard to remember that they weren't at the time.
Right, right. So...
And like, yeah, they totally were not necessarily family friendly.
They were not, yeah. So yeah, I mean, from the time I was probably 6 or 7 until the time that I was 10 or 11-ish, I had my birthday party at Chuck E. Cheese every year. So there was always a lot of like playing Ninja Turtles, playing Simpsons, animatronics. So here's the hot strat for this game. You start a 2-player B game, and whenever you kill your partner, you get an extra life. So...
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I don't think I knew that.
This is the hot strat. So, you know.
You're such a jerk.
Yeah, yeah. Guilty as charged, I guess.
I got Chrono Trigger for like my 15th birthday, I think.
Sounds about
and
right.
I had a bunch of friends over, and all I wanted them to do was leave so I could play Chrono Trigger. I was just immediately enamored with that game, and had a real hard time putting it down.
Yeah.
We could play Mario Kart or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, I had some then. So there was a place near. There was a place in Milwaukee, not far from where we lived, called Fun World, which is not a super creative name. But that was, it had indoor mini golf and an indoor Ferris wheel
like
and an arcade. And that place was...
An indoor Ferris wheel, eh?
An indoor Ferris wheel.
That, to me, that feels like it might defeat the purpose of the...
Well, there was like a big portrait window.
Okay, so you can really see something?
You could see to Blue Mound Road, which would basically just have like a bunch of strip malls and shit on it anyways, but, you know, whatever, I guess. Alright, so this is going to be the boring part where I just beat up my partner until I get all his lives, so apologies for this part. What's the chat think about anything?
I don't know.
You're going to need those lives when it's time to jump on all those conveyor belts.
I sure am.
I'm hitting a bunch of hobos with an axe at the moment, so...
Nice.
Are you playing Condemned?
No, that would
a
be
good question. That'd be a pipe, right? You'd be using a lead pipe to...
let's see. Snarkcast says they do scroll bad, referring to the MSX, I guess.
Yeah.
Red Force games, Salamander games. But someone made a hack of Nemesis, Gradius 2 on the MSX that smooths out the scrolling.
Oh, nice.
That'd be interesting. That'd be fun to check out at some point. Let's see. I know you're asking Joe, but one birthday I can remember, I got my SNES with Mario World and Turtles in Time.
Nice.
That's a really good starter pack.
That must have been pretty late in the cycle.
Turtles in Time was a very
Turtles in Time was a pretty late game, wasn't it?
like middle period. I don't think it was too late.
Yeah, 93. I don't know. I just put the. If you pull up the video of our draft, I put the year in the corner. So I think I want to say it was 93. So that's like firmly middle of the.
Okay.
Middle period.
I was pretty early to the Super Nintendo party because I had been
Same.
completely convinced by all the Nintendo Power propaganda.
But the Nintendo
I
Power
was-
propaganda was correct in this case.
Well, you're right, it was. But like, I was fucking all in on the Super Nintendo when that thing came out. Sold my Nintendo, all my games, never regretted it.
Yeah, that's a that's a thing that, like, when people are like, why don't you have your old game? Like, why did you have to rebuy all this shit? And I'm like, because my parents wouldn't just buy me new video games. They would make me sell my old video games to teach me a lesson about
Well,
the
my
value of
parents
a dollar,
didn't
I
make
guess.
me, but like I had to because we just didn't have money to buy new games. So if
Right.
I wanted to buy, especially RPGs and stuff, where some of those were like $60 or $70.
Yeah.
So you could take 5 or 6 games into Zelda.
I mean, some of them were like 100. Chrono
Fantasy Star
Triggers,
4.
Final Fantasy 3.
Chrono Trigger was 70, I think, when it came out.
Well, Mike's Canadian though, so the dollar is.
That's true, right? That's true.
Yeah, back then the dollar also sucked. There was this weird period for like 8 years where the dollar was actually kind of okay, and now it's
The
kind of
Canadian
back to
dollar.
sucking again. Yeah.
The Phantasy Star 4 was $100 American when it came out.
When Joe does that, Mike, you should correct him and say the U.S. dollar when he's talking about the
yeah.
dollar. Anyway.
No, I was just clarifying. He said the dollar used to be
No,
good,
I
now it
know.
sucked, and I was clarifying that he meant his dollar.
Right, and you
not
mean
our
the
dollar.
U.S. dollar?
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, let's see. I think the best, Skyron says, I think the best game memory I have from Chuck E. Cheese is that Jurassic Park game from Sega where you ride in a Jeep. That's pretty dope.
That is dope. That game is dope.
I guess for my Chrono Trigger thing, Cigarette Man, Juice Man says for Chrono Trigger I would go the same way. For sure. Nexus Creed says, okay, so Billy killed Jimmy over Marion, but now they fight together over a dead H star. That's family for you. I guess that's supposed to be Ho.
Yeah, don't be like that, man.
I mean, in this game, they definitely drew her in such a suggestive way as.
It's
No,
funny
I
that
know.
Jimmy
I
is
agree.
both
Don't be shaming.
I'm not. No, it's just. They
second player
her-
and the occasional final boss. He's like Luigi and Bowser at the same time.
Like, for an NES game, her boobs are ridiculous in the opening cutscene of this game. They're ridiculous. Like,
Nexus Creed says, no Bimmy, don't take Jimmy's lives. Which, you know. You gotta do what you gotta do, man.
that's right. And in this winner-take-all world of 8-bit video games, you gotta do what you
Of
gotta
Turtles
do.
in Time, Dolly Popka says it came out in August 1982. Which is an early period, I guess. Dolly Popka says, yeah, I was a slave to GameStop for so many years, taking games for trade and other stuff. Man, I regret some of those choices. Yeah, I mean, the GameStop cycle was a heck of a thing.
There was a tweet last week that was just too good, which was, you know, they're saying that they're having financial troubles, and somebody was like, the tables have finally turned. I'll give you $5 for GameStop.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it was nice that cycle existed for people who didn't have a lot of money and wanted to play new games. But also, like, these days, everything goes on sale so soon that,
Yeah,
especially if you have decent internet. Like, this is not everybody has good enough internet to do this. So, you know,
You're not
GameStop
shaming
goes away. It would
the-
really suck for those people. But
Yeah.
but it was a good
Oh,
way
yeah,
to, like, that was how you played a lot of games back then. Especially, it was either that or rental.
rentals. I did so many rentals. You know, the local video store. And the guy who ran it was super nice, really got along well with kids. And it was always really nice to all the kids in the neighborhood and everything. And they rented video games. It was like, you know, $2-3 to have a game for a couple of days. And that was how I played a lot of games. Like, a lot of people are like, oh, I never played such and such a game when I was a kid. And I'm like, I played all these games, not because I owned them, but I rented so many games. And I didn't. I only...
we had a local place. Well, it was in Elba, not Oak. They would do like rent one get one free on Saturday.
Yeah.
And they were closed on Sundays, so if you rented them on Saturday, you got them for like 2 days.
Nice.
Ooh. Ooh.
So that was a nice deal. I would usually rent a game and then whatever wrestling pay-per-view they had, like.
That's
so I would
legit.
often rent Mega Man 2 and WrestleMania 3 or 4, and just watch wrestling and play video games. Always a good time.
I'm not quite nailing the timing for the knee. That's bugging me.
It's like right as we get to jump, and then when you're crouching, you kind of do it right before you get up.
I think it's both buttons, right? Not just...
Yeah.
The uppercut is the punch button. Yeah, there we go. Like, I used to be able to just bounce around doing it, so the timing now. There we go. Yeah, there we go.
Let's see. Snarcast Production says, "Damn, I didn't know that. Here, I thought the only $100 Genesis cart was Virtual Racing."
They came out right around the same time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna guess Virtual Racing probably not worth $100.
Probably not.
No. It's a really good conversion, though. Honestly, like all things considered, it's a very good. Like what you can get it for now, which is significantly less than $100. It's well, I guess when I got it, it was not very expensive. As we were talking about earlier in the stream, is not necessarily representative of what it actually costs now. But when I got my copy of Virtual Racing, it was like $5.
Let's see. Says, I have the Fantasy 4 Star cart, or Fantasy Star 4 cart. I remember beating that game as a kid. Fantasy Star 4 is a pretty good game.
I still have to play that someday. Someday.
I played through most of that one, and some of the other ones are a little tough to go back to. I think that those games don't hold up in quite the same way that like Final Fantasy 4 and 6 do. Just because the first person combat and stuff a little rough.
I feel like there's a lot of people. A lot of people were talking about how the M2 conversion of Phantasy Star 1 that just went up for Switch in Japan not that long ago, but has the full English version of the game, is really good.
Yeah. Okay.
But also they added some stuff to make it a little more user friendly than the game.
Yeah, especially those like 1 and 2 definitely use some. Definitely need some updating.
Like a lot of the grinding, I guess, is taken out, and there's like a fast forward feature to kind of make stuff move a little bit more sprightly.
Skater Teen 98 says today is also my friend's birthday. Happy birthday! Happy birthday to your friend.
Yeah, happy birthday to your friend.
Nexus Creed says, please do not change the Contra sign.
I will not. I'm not.
We'll just leave the Contra box.
We're just gonna leave the Contra box up
for every stream going forward.
Always, even on Wednesday when we play whatever we're doing this Wednesday.
Joe or Cigarette Juiceman says, Joe, have you played the Battletoads arcade game?
A little bit. I need to sink more time into it. I'm told that that's kind of like the best Battletoads game is the arcade one.
I mean, I like that Super Nintendo one, all right. I made you play that with me at some point, and it's like it's okay. There's like some really cool animations and stuff in it, which is true of the arcade game as well. They're both all right. They're all right. There's a lot better there's a lot better brawlers that you can play.
The original Battletoads is not a great game because it gets so ridiculously unbalanced, but it's fun for 2 or 3 levels.
It's fun for exactly 3 levels.
The racing level.
Yeah. It's fun for 3 levels, and then it stops being fun. And you know,
I like
the pause music is a jam. The Turbo Tunnel is, I guess, okay as long as you're not playing with another person. If you're playing with another person, that it becomes pure misery. Friendships, I think, were ruined forever in the Turbo Tunnel.
I love the second-person boss fight.
Yeah, that's amazing. I don't think I've ever seen another game do that
Turtles 4.
Turtles 4, yeah, okay, I was gonna say, I guess there is that one, but still, that's pretty cool.
Yes.
It's pretty cool.
Oh, come on. The edges, the pitfalls should not be in Double Dragon games. Like that's
Nexus
the thing.
Creed Ride, the knee is OP.
The knee is OP.
The-
The knee is OP. That's absolutely true.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Two Double Dragon wrap for the day.
Which is why they put spikes on the ceiling in this part, so you can't use the knee unless you get knocked down. So you can't jump here. So. But you can throw dudes into the spikes. I'm coming for you, Billy Lee. The hell with you. Arnold, you're a son of a bitch.
Sky Reynolds says, "Oh yeah, I remember wrestling VHS tapes back in the day. SummerSlam '93, Survivor Series '89, that Hulkamania video series. Yeah, I mean that was how I experienced wrestling mostly when I was a kid, like totally out of order.
Yeah, right. Having no sense of what the storylines were.
Right, just like I just had to rely on Mean Gene to tell me what was going on most of the time, and it was really pretty much impossible for me to assemble any kind of coherent anything for most of that stuff. But it didn't really matter. I mean, there was the only wrestling show that was on was Wrestling Superstars on like Sunday mornings at like 11 a.m. or 1 p.m. or whatever. And that was just like maybe you would like. You were really lucky if you got to see a Hulk Hogan squash match.
Yeah. Or just highlights from like Saturday Night Main Event. Squash match is where there's no it's not a competitive match. It's just like one guy.
You put a big star in there with a guy who's not a big star, and then
oh, okay.
beat him up real quick to sort of
just a mook.
Yeah, usually a local. Like I knew guys when I was wrestling who had been jobbers, who got squashed by stars like for WWE.
That's got to be kind of fun.
Yeah, I mean,
actually, Mike, I
interesting.
lied. It's a stipulation match where you have to hit a guy with a squash.
With a squash.
What if they have food allergies?
It's a squash on a pole
That's
match.
the point.
They put in summer squash. Yeah, they put a butternut squash at the top of the pole. And you gotta climb the pole and then get the butternut squash, and then you hit him with it. And then he breaks out in hives, and it's just a mess. Right.exe says Phantasy Star is the first RPG I ever beat. Phantasy Star 4 is I like that.
Come on. Oh, dear. Why did Bobo grow out his hair for this one?
Maya Kun says Phantasy Star 4 is awesome. I love the cutscenes. I don't know why Sega doesn't make a 5th game.
That is really well.
Probably
They did.
They don't make any money, or they just don't have they haven't been presented with the proper idea for it, or something. I don't know.
I mean, the 5th game was Phantasy Star Online, wasn't it?
I mean, I guess
don't
in the
know.
way that Final Fantasy 11 and 14 were official Final Fantasy games, but I would not think of it that way.
But yeah,
They're probably still making money off Final Fantasy Online too.
Also says happy birthday. Nexus Creed
Thank
says
you.
Joe. True Lies something. I want to play with you, but no homo. I think that's a reference. Talking about World War. Ugh.
I appreciate the sentiment. Let's not do the no homo thing. We cannot do that anymore. We're fine with that. You know.
That was funny like a while ago, but now it's just something that like shitty people say on Twitter.
Yeah. And I don't think that Nexus Creed is a shitty person. So like.
No, I'm
it's
not.
just
I'm just saying that it just is like a funny.
Yeah.
Come here, you shitty sparkly dog. Back here. I need to hit you with this axe.
What are you playing again?
I am playing Ashen.
This game sounds maybe goofier than I thought it was.
I don't know. There's some kind of weird dog things that have glowy backs are trying to attack me.
Uh-huh.
Next level, Double Dragon 2 Clock Tower Edition.
Yeah, let's do that. Can we? Has someone made a Double Dragon level editor that will let us make a Clock Tower stage of Double Dragon? The only problem is if Scissorman came after Billy and Jimmy, they'd just like punch him in the face and take his scissors and beat him up with his own scissors.
Yeah, but then the scissors would blink out of existence like 5 minutes later.
That's true.
You hit the wrong button, you throw the scissors, and then you can't get them back.
That's true. Just gonna throw dynamite back and forth with this Roper. Fun fact about Double Dragon: the most common enemies, Williams and Roper, are named after John Saxon and Jim Kelly's characters in Enter the Dragon.
Oh.
Oh man.
Well, all right then.
I love Enter the Dragon.
I love Jim Kelly. Bullshit, Mr. Handman!
Jim Kelly's afro.
Jim Kelly's afro. Jim Kelly has the most perfect hair in film history in Enter the Dragon.
Alright, Mike.
Sorry.
Fuck. Can't.
Fuck.
Leave me alone, sparkly dog.
This game does sound less serious than I was initially led to believe.
I don't know. I mean, it has kind of a somber tone to it, but it's just these dogs they're like white dogs with juice on their backs or something.
Sparkly dog don't play, man. You should know that.
That sounds like it would be an Undertale thing. A sparkly dog.
Yeah, I mean they're not really sparkly. They're more like glowing with a blue fire or something. But
Which, like, speaking of Undertale, what's up with the new thing from Toby Fox? People like it.
It's kind of like a new. It's like a new game in the Undertale verse, kind of. It's like it actually takes some of the characters from the first game, but recasts them as if they were different people.
Huh.
But for the most part, it's not that. For the most part, it's original stuff. It's basically an RPG, but you've got 3 characters in your party instead of just one.
Yeah, I don't know.
Which is how the original Undertale was.
I liked Undertale. I did not love it like a lot of people seemed to, and I don't know that I necessarily need more of that.
I'm pretty sure you don't need more Undertale.
Okay.
I promised those monsters that I wouldn't fuck with the thing anymore, so I can't play it. I'm not allowed to. They're my
You
friend.
can play this.
I'm not going to betray them. Anthony did play it though because he's a horrible monster, and he said it was pretty good. So.
No, but this is not that world. It's,
I know,
not,
but it's the same. I mean, look, man, I don't know who's.
It's like if those characters were actors or something and they were recast.
Like Laura from D?
Yes.
I mean, that's what they want you to think, but who knows?
My favorite thing about Undertale is that it turned into a Residence music video at the end. That was my favorite.
I don't. Oh, that part.
Yeah. Yep. Where in the world are we? There is evil in the air. Mission 6, the Mansion of Terror.
Oh, I heard your letter today on Retronauts, Joe.
About
the soundtrack to Incredible Crisis.
Awesome the soundtrack to Incredible Crisis is.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's the end of Double Dragon 2. There is like a weird continue code, but I think you need to have a second player controller plugged in to use it, so. Oh, well. Let's see here.
How did you get through all 6 stages in the time that we were just talking?
It's not a very long game. Nexus Creed says the next boss is a real dozer. That was the boss I just fought. Fun fact about that boss, it's in the background of one of the stages in the Kunio basketball game, Neketsu Dunk Heroes. The big dozer machine is just like parked in a parking lot. I think it's in the Florida stage with the space shuttles.
Nice.
Snarkcast Production says one character in Double Dragon 2 is named Bolo. I think it's the Bobo. Yeah, right, which is the name of Bolo Young's character from. Well, that's not really his name, but he changed his name, his performance name to Bolo after that movie because he was known by it. And then he was in Bloodsport.
Sapient Moss.
Awesome. Ooh, Sapient Moss.
Yeah.
Sky Reynolds says it's weird
A
how there was
strange plant with an unpleasantly spongy feel, more like the texture of a brain than a plant.
Ew.
Wherever sapient moss is found, it appears to hold the spread of foregone fungus at bay. That moss is smarter than some of my cousins. Every item in this game features a quote by one of the characters.
Sky Reynolds talks about how it's weird that there was no consistency from Double Dragon to Double Dragon. The first game borrows heavily from Bruce Lee and Mad Max. The second one focuses on technology, and the third one has magic. Yeah, someone tried to correct me in one of my least favorite thing, by the way, is when people try to correct me in the comments of my videos.
What if you're wrong?
No, when I'm wrong, I totally own it, right? Which is fine. Like someone, when I did the Trojan video, I was like, this was the first arcade port that Capcom developed in-house, and someone was like, wasn't Commando before this? And I was like, you are totally right. I was completely wrong about that. Commando came before Trojan. But someone was like, oh, why do people always say that Double Dragon was inspired by Mad Max? And I'm like, I don't know, because the guy who made it said that it was inspired by Mad Max. Like, there's an interview. Here's a link. Like, I don't know what to tell you, man.
Death of the author, Joe.
Yeah, and when you get to Super Nintendo, it goes from post-apocalyptic future to seemingly be set in the present. Yeah, Double Dragon 4 seems like it's more of a reboot than an actual sequel. But whatever. Nexus Creed talks about how the platforms are the real boss of Double Dragon 2, which is true.
Yeah, no shit.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That one level, just ugh.
Yep. Snarkcast Production says Incredible Crisis just proves that Ska will never die. You're damn right, Ska will never die.
You're saying that if you were to knock it down, it would get it up?
Yes, yes. And I'm saying if you dropped it, you could always pick it up, pick it up, pick it up! Anyways. Cigarette Juice Man says Wrecking Crew. I'm gonna pass on that. Nexus Creed says play Streets of Rage 2. I do like Streets of Rage 2. I'd have to go grab another system to do that. But,
You got any of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle arcade games?
I do. That's a good idea. Let's go with that. Let's go with that. I actually haven't played the original arcade game.
The Manhattan Project is also a very good video game.
It's, I think it's just okay. If I'm being honest.
I think I like it better than the second one. But that was the one I had, so...
Yeah, the NES game...
Here's the problem with it. Also, just to show it on cam, because I said I would, here's the translucent blue cartridge of Salamander, which you can see the board with all the extra chips in it, which is so cool, and it's
gorgeous.
It's a translucent blue cartridge with the big snake on it. It's so dope.
She's gorgeous, eh?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, eh?
Oh, she's a right looker.
Okay, let's see here. What was I going to do? Turtles. Oh, the thing about Turtles 3 on the NES is that you can do the down and B move, the throw, and, like, it kind of breaks the game. Like, you get any cannon fodder enemies, you can just, like, totally annihilate them with the down and B throw move, which the first one doesn't have that, so it's a little bit...
I don't know. I think the first one is too limited of a move set.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of true. But the second one, or the third one, or whatever.
We're not talking about the other one.
Right. That one also has, like, it feels like some of the stuff, like, it feels like the Konami A-Team was on the Super NES, but, excuse me, by that point. Because there's, like, one of the bosses can get stuck on a piece of the geometry, like, really easily. At least one that I can think of. And you can just, like, hammer on him and he can't move because he's, like, stuck on this thing coming out of the wall. I don't know. I feel like the second one, the one that I'm playing right now, has a little more polish on it than Manhattan Project. I don't know. That's just my opinion. Fire, we gotta get April out. So this is one of those games that came out on the Xbox Live Arcade and then disappeared forever. Along with X-Men and Simpsons. Which is not great. That's sort of
the Ask Men game? The Ask Men game?
Is that also gone forever? That's too bad. But, this... I just, like... That's sort of the nature of the digital future we live in, and when people are like, why do you still like to buy physical games? I'm like, because I never know when something's just gonna fucking disappear. And,
True.
you know, like, actually, I'm kind of upset. Not upset, that's not the right word, but I'm kind of bummed out that my copy of the Capcom Belt Action Collection didn't arrive from Japan today. It's coming tomorrow. It'll be here tomorrow. because I would have played that on the stream for sure. Which is it got a physical release in Japan, which is known as the beat 'em up bundle here in the U.S. Got a physical release in Japan.
The belt scroller bundle.
The belt action collection.
Oh, belt action.
Yes, belt action. But anyways, Eric, you were saying something tonight.
I was gonna say I bought a 4 gigabyte hard drive, and I think I'm gonna put, or 4 terabyte hard drive. Sorry.
I was gonna say
I'm gonna start the process of downloading and putting most of my Steam games on that, just for shits and giggles, just to have them all in one place.
Will they all fit on a 4 terabyte?
I don't know.
Don't you have like 300 games in your Steam library or something?
I am up to like 605.
Wow.
I think.
That's
something like that.
Man.
I mean, there's a lot of games that I'm not gonna bother putting on there that I bought for $1.
Right.
I'm not gonna put Legendary the box on there.
No.
So that's 8 gigabytes. That.
What if you want to check out that Legendary box later?
I did. I mean, I played it for like an hour, and that was enough.
I finally figured out how to add DLC to my Steam wishlist, so I can get that Fire Pro Wrestling DLC when it goes on sale next. I was very happy that I figured out how to do that, because I was like, can you do that? I don't think you can do that. And I was like, oh no, you can do that.
Can you do it?
You can do it, yeah. You have to go into the store page for that game, and then like look at click on the piece of DLC specifically, and then there's a link to add it to your wish list. Which is kind of annoying. Like you can't just do it from you can't do it from your library because it'll show the DLC, but you can't add the DLC to your wish list. You have to go to the store page first, which is annoying. But you can, so yeah.
Man, I'm loving this game.
So yeah, sorry. Well, let me take a look at the chat a little bit while I punch these foot soldiers. Sky Reynolds says, unless you're Donatello, it's almost impossible to strike an enemy without getting hit in return. Yeah, that's true, but Raph is the best turtle, so I'm still going to play as Raph, even though I realize there's strategic advantage.
Give me a break.
To play. He's cool, but rude. You know, there's a strategic advantage to playing as Leonardo or Donatello, but whatever. People are talking about their crushes on 80s April. Yeah, for sure. And was it Paige Turco who played April in the second movie? That she was like an early crush object for me, for sure. Nimai-kun has a very long comment that I can't read and kill foot soldiers at the same time. Okay, no, there are no foot soldiers. I love the TMNT arcade game. As a kid, I thought the NES TMNT game was the same. There was no gaming sites back then. All we had was box art. It was a big disappointment. Yeah, the first NES Turtles game is not a very good game. It's okay. I honestly think at this point its reputation is worse than it deserves, but it's still not good. It's underrated, but it's still bad. It's like the inverted version of Radiohead.
Like that damn level's a pain, but it's not that hard.
Yeah, well, it's
a bad game. It's a real bad game. It's a real bad game. It's not good. I mean, whatever. If you want to say it's the worst NES game, then that's a stretch. But it's
like I'm saying, I can think of like 15 NES games off the top of my head that I'd rather not play more than the first Ninja Turtles game.
I mean, that's like it's like a solid it's a solid D-, like great.
It's better than a D-.
It's a fucking bad game. It's bad. And if you were unfortunate enough to get that game instead of one of the two or better games, then it was pretty disappointing.
Yeah, that's true. If you thought it was this and it wasn't, and you got it and then it wasn't this, like that's
yeah.
I can see that being like a pretty big hit.
That would really suck.
Lisa Daly says physical games is where it's at. Digital is better. I like the convenience of digital, but the permanence of physical games is.
I pretty much just buy digital games at this point.
Yeah, I'm 100% digital at this point. Like, I don't want to have a whole bunch of stuff just taking up space in the house, and
it's too late for me. There's no turning back now.
And like, I just believe in the power of the internet to do the preservation work that the game people themselves aren't really doing.
Aren't bothered, can't be arsed to do. Well,
yep.
That's how it's been going so far. So when preservation is outlawed, only outlaws will preserve.
When rock is criminal, the criminals they rock.
Do they rock steady?
I'm a rock and roll
See what I did there?
Yeehaw, yeehaw, yeehaw. I'm a rock and roll outlaw.
Stop. Snarkcast wants the Fire Pro DLC too. Yeah, I don't want it for the wrestlers. I want it for the single player, like story mode. That's why I want it. Because yeah, you can get, like you said, Snarkcast. You can get the wrestlers on the Steam Workshop page. Some more stuff about. There's some stuff about Sonic looking terrifying in this like brief live action.
Oh my god!
Released, and yeah,
have you seen it?
Nightmare fuel, absolutely. Like you can't even really see him, but you can see enough of him to be like, that doesn't look right. That silhouette isn't right.
Oh yes, yes. Oh no, that's a glowy dog. It's not the thing I thought. Ah. Never mind. Shit.
Riot.exe was talking about digital game stuff and says it makes traveling with his PS4 easier than any other console. That's true, and with the Switch too. I have a lot of digital games on the Switch, and that makes.
Said hunt the lone Einar, but he's not alone. He's got a bunch of sparkly dogs with him.
Can you hunt the Wumpus?
That wasn't the deal. He was supposed to be alone.
The Wumpus?
Yeah.
Or
The Einar or whatever he is.
Cigarette Juice Man says, what matches are you all looking forward to for Wrestle Kingdom in January? You know, I don't have New Japan World. I really should probably.
Yeah, I should sign up for that. I should cancel my. I've thought often about canceling my WWE Network subscription and signing up for that instead. It's just like that's a company I'd much rather give my money to, and I probably would enjoy the product more. Honestly, it's been a minute since I liked anything WWE put out.
Naito is wrestling Will Ospreay, I think. Is that what I saw today? And Jericho.
Becky Lynch. I guess that Becky Lynch Charlotte Flair match was hot fire.
That was hot fire for sure.
Has been a pretty not a very memorable year.
Yeah. I actually still need to go back and watch All In. That's how far behind I am on like non-WWE stuff. So, but I mean, you know, I know that the Wrestle Kingdom card looks good. I think that if Naito is wrestling Will Ospreay, if that's what I saw, that should be good. Jericho, I think, is he wrestling Evil again? I don't remember. That probably is good because it's Chris Jericho and Evil. And they're both good.
Well, hi there, giant flying guy.
Snarkcast says Wrestle Kingdom taking place during MagFest is going to kill me. I might end up watching in the LAN room. Hey, you know what? If they're showing it, if someone's showing it at MagFest, I will show up and watch. Probably at MagFest. Mimikun says the worst NES game ever was Destination Earthstar. I don't think I ever played that game. I feel like I vaguely recall it being something like the Space Mountain section of Adventures in the Magic Kingdom. That's what I think of. I don't know if that's correct or not, though. But I feel like that's like the screenshot I have in my brain of that game. Is it looking sort of like that. Dolly Popka says he's gone digital for the same reasons Mike has. Oh, here we go. Cigarette Juice Man says looking forward to Okada versus White, Tanahashi versus Omega, and Ospreay versus it's Kota Ibushi that is facing Will Ospreay. Yeah, that should be good. And Tanahashi versus Omega will be good. All those matches will probably be good. Sky Reynolds says they don't know who won at WrestleMania. That's how far behind they are.
We all lost at WrestleMania.
I was saying, I feel like WrestleMania this year was not very good. Eric, you were here. We watched it.
We did watch it. I don't know.
I remember. I feel like NXT TakeOver for that weekend was better. That had the really good.
Every weekend there's an NXT
Ciampa
TakeOver
versus...
and a WWE pay-per-view.
Yeah,
the NXT
TakeOver
thing
is better.
Is always better. Yeah.
That was the one that had one of the Ciampa Gargano like no holds barred matches was really good.
Yeah.
Ciampa Gargano.
Yeah.
Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano.
Yeah. Johnny Wrestling.
Johnny Badass. Yeah, they were a tag team called DIY, Mike, you see. And what happened is they lost the tag titles and Tommaso Ciampa snapped because he blamed Johnny Wrestling for being selfish and costing them the tag team championships. And so
that doesn't seem fair.
He threw Johnny Gargano through a table, just destroyed him, put him on the shelf for like, I don't know, a while, I think, right? And then Ciampa was on the shelf for a while, so there was this big anticipation thing of when they were actually going to collide. And they've had like 3 matches so far, and they've all been really good. Like better than they probably have any right to be by the 3rd one. Like you'd think that like now they're on the 3rd one. How good can this keep being? But it's still really good. So, you know.
Sweet.
NXT just generally is really good. Like they had a War Games match at the last show, which is 2 rings next to each other and a cage over them both with like 7 guys and 8 guys in there. That was real good.
I need to get my souls. Damn.
Oh, is that one of those games where you lose your souls?
Yes, sir.
To go pick them up. So, can someone explain to me, Mike, can you explain to me why people keep comparing Hollow Knight to Dark Souls? Because I'm really not getting it.
I mean, aesthetically, it definitely draws a lot from Dark Souls.
Kinda? Yeah, kinda. But, like...
It's not, I would say it's not really the same kind of game. I think
Right.
it's just that it's a game that has a lot of the same feeling, kind of lonely, dead world, weird characters that you talk to. The story is kind of obfuscated behind all that stuff.
Totally, it borrows a lot.
Yeah, I think
Also,
that's
I
what
mean, it has corpse runs, which is...
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people just associate corpse runs with Dark Souls, which is... Really, you should think of more like early MMOs, like EverQuest and shit like that. That's what I think.
There were games that had corpse runs before Souls.
But definitely, Dark Souls modernized that concept and sort of changed the way that you view death in a single-player game. But I think that's where it draws most of the comparisons. Because I've made that same comparison, and that's what I was speaking specifically about when I said that. That it was just like it borrows a lot of things. In terms of the way it tells the story and the
not what you do really.
Right. Yeah, I was gonna say because I haven't played enough of any of the Souls games to get a vibe for how the story is told, but I've played enough of them to know what the gameplay loop is, and I didn't feel like, I didn't feel like Hollow Knight was executing the same gameplay loop except for the corpse run part of it. But,
I mean,
like
also
said,
a lot of
games
people,
have that.
any game that's just hard, people say is like Dark Souls nowadays.
That's so tiresome. I'm so tired of hearing that comparison. So tired. Well, looks like Snarkcast beat you to the punch there, Eric. Canceled his WWE Network's subscription after the Crown Jewel debacle, which is that's so embarrassing. Like, that they went ahead and did that, and that and the more details that come out about what happened to Jamal Khashoggi, it's even worse, right? And who knows how much of that. But well, Vince and Donald Trump are buddies. His wife is in the administration, so it's not a stretch to know that.
Right. It goes deeper than that too.
It
does.
Like
the bullshitness of Saudi Arabia.
Right. But in the immediate aftermath of killing a dissident on foreign soil, it's sort of like, that's really not a great look. To go ahead.
He was employed as a journalist by
by an American outlet. Yeah.
Right, but beyond just that, also they brought back Hulk Hogan.
Right, on the same day.
Right. Well, because their 2 biggest stars didn't want anything to do with being in fucking Saudi Arabia.
Right,
so.
and I give a lot of credit to John Cena and Daniel Bryan for...
I think I still feel like there's probably more people that would have made that decision, but probably didn't feel like they had the stroke to pull it off.
I mean, the answer would be, if everyone had made that decision, there wouldn't be a lot they could have done, but it seems like not everyone was willing to do that. But if everyone on the roster had just been like, we're not going. What are you going to do? Fire the whole roster and hire a new one? No. Rhino Nar says, hey, Joe. Hey.
Alright, I made it to the final boss.
The Spire? Are you going to slay it now?
Yes, I've got a shovel. I'm gonna start digging underneath it. I figure maybe
eventually it'll just
I can get underneath the foundations.
Yep, sounds legit. What about a sledgehammer, Mike? Have you considered a sledgehammer?
Oh, just every waking moment of my life.
I feel like the dude from Red Faction Gorilla could slay the Spire very easily.
Yes, but he's OP. He's been banned from competition.
Okay. A lot of people saying that New Japan World is better than WWE. Have a better idea than WWE Network. All that good stuff.
For sure. Plus, there's a ton of stuff on there I haven't seen, whereas most of the stuff on WWE Network I kind of have at this point.
Oh, Cameristica wants to know, Eric, if we're gonna do a new Genesis or Genesis anytime.
Sure.
I'm just gonna
Should get back on that horse.
I could probably do that now again.
Don't worry, he's only gonna hit me for 60 damage this turn.
Hopefully you get all the ice orbs.
I sure don't have enough.
$60 damage is a lot of damage.
Yep, it's almost twice as much as I got hit points.
Oh, come on. Alright, I'm not playing that whole stage again. I'm gonna move on to something else.
God, this guy's a fucker.
Play
Have
Metal
either-
Storm.
Metal Storm, that's a good idea. Have either of you guys played the new Supergiant thing that's on early access now?
I have
No.
not. They played it on UPF on Giant Bomb on Professional Fridays on Friday, and it looked pretty cool.
It looks very cool, but because it's an early access, I kind of just want to wait for it to be either done or a lot farther along. Like, it looks really slick for now, but if they're going to keep adding, you know, enemies and abilities and things, I'd rather wait for them to get a little farther in that.
I was gonna say, Mike, aren't you the one who, like, has at least on one occasion declared an early access game as your game of the year during the Sticky Awards?
I don't know if it was my very top game of the year, but yes, on my list, yes.
I guess, yeah.
I did. I mean, I gave episode 1 of Kentucky Route Zero my game of the year like 4 years ago.
That part of it was done, though, right? Wasn't it? Like, episode 1 was done.
Was 1/5 of the way done. That was supposed to be finished this year, but it doesn't look like that's actually gonna.
That wasn't even the episode with Third Floor Bears, man. What are you doing?
No, that was the first. Like
You didn't know.
That
I say
first
no.
episode was transcendent.
If you don't know, you don't know.
Was good enough.
It's been a while since I played this, so up and jump, or down and jump is how you invert.
Yeah.
And you can only
I
shoot
guess
it in the 4 cardinal
great
directions.
idea for a game, but the level design just kind of falls apart at a certain point, and it just doesn't look very good. It needs a better. This game is a great idea in search of a better aesthetic and a better level design.
Yeah, your character sprite in this game is hideous.
Well, not only that, but the way it blends in with the backgrounds in a lot of places is just that's just a no-no. That's a thing that should not happen.
Let's see here. Rhino Nar says, will there ever be a same name, different game on GoldenEye or any James Bond game? I've thought about it. Eric Grider from Game vs. Game did an episode on GoldenEye comparing the Wii, the N64, and the Wii remake. That's pretty good. That's the thing that you should look at if you're interested.
Do they have the exact same name?
They do. Or wait, maybe...
I don't know if they are exactly the same or not.
Now I'm trying to remember.
Because this is like the N64 is like 007 GoldenEye.
GoldenEye 007.
Jeez, man, picky.
I don't know. I never played that.
I
I
am
never
pretty
played that.
picky.
You ever play that?
The remake?
I haven't played much of any of GoldenEye's. I played a little bit of GoldenEye on N64, and I didn't try the remake. I was a Perfect Dark guy.
See, and I never played much of that because I sort of moved on from the N64 by the time it came out. Ugh. The way you die, the death animation in this game is mwah, so good. One of the best death animations in the NES library. Like that. I don't even know how to like that explosion looks like it came out straight out of like a 1980s anime. Like, with no alterations. It's fantastic.
Perfect Dark totally took over our lives for a good couple months, I want to say. Sometime in 2000 or so.
Yeah, GoldenEye, GoldenEye did the same for me, for sure.
Yeah, I never really liked Perfect Dark that much.
I don't know, it had a lot of cool options for playing multiplayer with your friends.
Yeah. It had more, I think it had more customization than GoldenEye even, didn't it?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
So, Yeah, I don't know.
You can do all sorts of stuff with bot matches too.
Yeah, but who wants to?
We did because it meant you could have more people.
Oh yeah, I guess if you're already playing with a bunch of people, yeah, that makes sense. I thought you meant just like playing by yourself with bots.
I'm sure I did that sometimes too.
Yeah.
I like the campaign a lot. I mean, GoldenEye did the same thing. I really like that the campaign gets more complicated as you turn up the difficulty level, as opposed to just enemies have more hit points or do more damage.
Right, everything is a sponge for damage. Like Mega Man 10, we talked about this before, I think. Mega Man 10, or 11, sorry, Mega Man 11's difficulty scaling is maybe not the best way to go about doing that.
Yeah, from the very brief time that I spent with it, was like, hey, now you just take a bunch of damage. Did you know that there are half energy, like bars? Like, you know how you got, 28 little ticks of energy? Well, in Mega Man 11, there are half ticks, and when you go to the hard difficulty level, then hits start taking off, like, I don't know, 2.5 instead of 2 or something like that.
Yeah,
that's rough.
And then it, like, doesn't it just remove energy drops? Like,
yes, you can't get, like, energy refills during the level. You can still buy stuff in the store, but I don't know. I played like half a level of it and it was like, okay, this is gonna be no fun.
I mean, I feel like that just turns into like buy a shitload of E-tanks. Like,
or get real good.
Levels.
But yeah, not for me.
I don't know. I don't like the school of difficulty scaling where it's like, now everything's just a bullet sponge. Have fun. Like, that's not fun for me.
Or just like, now you take double damage. That was what was interesting about Superhero Mode in Mega Man 9, right? Was that it kind of remixed stages and stuff?
Yeah. Well, Mega Man 9, all the difficulty settings, like, to some extent, changed the... Like, the amateur, the novice mode, or whatever it was called, you know, kinda... Whoa.
Coffee, why did you post that? What did you do? Also, why are you here and not talking about how great Ashen is with me?
Yeah, what's up, Coffee?
I didn't want to interrupt him.
That's okay. What do you think about Ashen? Do you like it so far?
I like it. I also think it's very easy.
I mean, yeah, it's not difficult in the way.
Turned off the AI companion as soon as I could because I don't like that part.
No, I like it. I like having a buddy with me at all times. I mean, I think that it's difficult in that a lot of the enemies can kill you in 1 or 2 hits if you're careless, but it is definitely quite a bit easier than Dark Souls.
I like the aesthetic of it.
Yeah.
The world that.
I wish there was a little bit more variety in the different combat weapon. Like the different weapons don't have different animations in the way that Dark Souls.
Here's a real gripe that I have. Hate that your appearance is based on one piece of clothing and you can't mix and match. I want to play Fashion Souls. I want to at least take this stupid hood off the second piece of armor you get.
You might can ask if I ever played Iron Tank.
Do you have that cool thing on your head that gives you little, like, Gradius options that do damage when you hit guys?
Beating the first boss? Not yet, no.
Oh.
I've just been upgrading weapons and trying them out.
I beat the second boss, and I'm starting to find like more and more armor that has like a wider variety of stat distributions, which is kind of interesting.
I'll let Joe say what he was going to say before saying it.
Nimai-kun asked if I ever played Iron Tank, or if we ever played Iron Tank for the NES. It's on the new SNK collection, so yes.
You played that like 2 weeks ago, didn't you?
Yeah, I played it on the stream a couple weeks ago. That's a good game. I like that game. Nexus Creed suggests Mighty Final Fight, which, yeah, I could play some Mighty Final Fight after I play some Metal Slug. And, Sky Reynolds asked if this game is one-hit deaths. You can get a power-up that gives you an extra hit, but yes, basically, it's one-hit deaths.
It's a pretty tough game.
That's a little harsh, but it's super cool.
Yeah, like I said, it's a great concept, but it needs some other stuff.
Ooh, and these doors kill you. If you're like in the way of that door when you switch polarity, it murders you.
But Eric, this game got its refined sequel. It's called VVVVVV.
All right. And you know what? That's one of my favorite platformers of all time. So
yeah, I've played through it like 4 times in the last 2 weeks, and it's still really good.
Really? Wow.
Oh, really?
What got you on a sudden VVVVV kick?
Well, take a wild guess.
Your Your son likes it?
Cool.
Yes.
Your son is a really smart kid, Mike. I like
Yep.
him a lot.
I mean, he likes VVVV and Mega Man.
Mm-hmm. Mario Galaxy.
Now I need to go listen to the VVVV.
It's so good. One of the best parts about playing that game is just being able to blast the music while I play it.
Did you do
Same
the
thing with
really-
Fez, actually. He's asked me to replay Fez a bunch of times.
Oh, nice.
That music just sounds so good in context.
Disaster
Did
Piece.
you do the really did you get the really hard trinket, the impossible?
I got it once recently. He doesn't have patience for me to lose lives on that. At this point, I could probably get it in like a dozen lives, whereas, you know, when I first came back to it, it was probably like 60.
You're talking about VVVVV, right?
Yeah, VVVV. Anyway, that game is still really cool. But Joe, before I'm gonna go pretty soon, but I just wanted to ask you a little bit about this here, Mr.
Yeah.
Thingy.
Yeah.
So
I'm buying
this is
all
like a
this.
modular FPGA emulator kind of thing.
It's slightly modular. The only modular really aspect of it is that there's like a RAM board that is optional. And the RAM board, like, some cores need it to work, but there's a bunch of cores that don't need it. But even if you get the RAM board, like, I'm trying to think now, because I was just adding it up because I'm actually buying it probably tomorrow. Even with the RAM board, it's still only like...
It kind of sounds like you're saying Ramborg, which is a cooler, better thing, but...
Ramborg is what happened when Rambo becomes a cyborg.
Oh, man.
Unstoppable.
He's a Ramborg. Yeah, he's the unstoppable Ramborg. You don't need it, but for some of the cores it is required, like the Super
So your
NES
choice is
cores.
with or without RAM board at this point.
There's also an I/O board, which will give you analog out. But, like,
Okay.
for me, if I was going to use that... people with OSSCs have been using that, but there's enough lag on the FrameMeister that if I got the I/O board to output analog video into my FrameMeister and upscale it that way, it would add more lag than just running the HDMI directly out of the DE10 Nano itself.
Is that why there's an I/O board, or is it just so people can hook these things up to their TVs, old TVs?
It's so they can either hook them up to their old TVs or, like I said, people with OSSCs, it seems like, have been really... Because the OSSC is a lower lag scaler than...
I don't know what that means. Is that a scaling card? Like a...
Yeah, it's a lot of people now think it's better than the FrameMeister. It's an open source scan converter.
Oh, scan converter. Yes, that's the word.
Um,
All right. Well, anyway, my question is more on the, like, so Mr. has some cores and it can do emulation, but what's the big advantage of using that over just like software emulation?
It's more accurate. It's like a Super NT or an NT Mini, like, 'cause it's doing it.
But didn't-
More accurate?
Didn't
Yeah.
Frank Cifaldi go on and on about how, like, it's good emulation, but it's not like a magic bullet?
It's not a magic bullet. A lot of it has to do with who's making the core. Like, if someone who isn't great, like, and that's what a lot of people have been saying even with Mister, is like, you kind of have to temper your expectations to a certain extent, because Kevtris isn't making FPGA cores for Mister. So
Right. He's the kind of wonderkind who's so good at
right.
figuring those out.
But it depends on the system. Like right now, there's all the cores for systems that are based on the Sharp 68000 processor. There's cycle accurate. The Mister can do the 68000 processor cycle accurate. So anything that uses that processor,
Yeah, you
which
can do
is
all this.
like-
You could download Hygan and it's also pretty much 100%.
I mean, sure, you could. I wouldn't. I
this-
certainly wouldn't throw shade at anybody who just is like, I'm going to use a Raspberry Pi or download Hygan. But Hygan also is like pretty hardware intensive if you want it to do like
Right, you have to have a decent PC.
Yeah.
have a good PC. And the DE10 Nano is $130, and a PC is like $1,500. So
But you can do a
As-
lot of other things with a PC.
that's true.
I was gonna say, as someone who has a bunch of PCs, like, I'm interested in stuff like the NT because it lets me use my original carts. It's kind of that,
Sure.
Yeah.
you know, that sort of sense of tactile.
Sure, that's cool.
So while I'm kind of interested in this thing because I think FPGAs are super neat, I'm not exactly sure what I would do with one that would be better than just running an emulator.
For me, part of it is that I think in a lot of ways it's for me it's a little bit easier to capture. I mean, I can screen capture from from using OBS, but I like that. It's very portable. Like, I'm probably gonna take mine home for Christmas and like be able to play, be like, hey Dad, do you want to play Ms. Pac-Man?
Right.
On the big TV with this little thing that is like, 5 inches by, or 4 inches by 3 inches or whatever. It's a small little pocket computer. And that there's that aspect of it. And a lot of the stuff seems like it's easier. Like, I tried to get an Amiga emulator running on my computer, and I was just so lost. Like, I was just like, what am I doing? Like, what do I need to do to make this work? And it seems like, because it's just a core on the Mister, like, I would just go to that core and boot it up, and like, there it is. Instead of being like, what? Like, there's several, like, you have to fine tune the emulators on a PC for some of those old PC formats, and I just don't want to deal with that. And again, the portability of it is a boon, and it's not that expensive, right? Like I said, the E10 Nano is $130. Once you're all in with the, like, I'm gonna get a fan and a heat sink and all that stuff, and even once all that stuff, like, it's still less than $200.
See, I'd be way more into it if it didn't have a fan.
I mean, you don't have to put a fan in it, but depending on the cores you're running, it can get hot. So most people recommend putting a fan on it. So
yeah, I don't know. Maybe this will wind up being interesting just because it's kind of a fixed. I mean, FPGA is super interesting stuff, and maybe it'll wind up being easier to make one good FPGA emulator for a given console than to tweak ones for Windows and have them run optimally on everyone's different spec PC or.
Right. And again, that's part of it for me as well.
Shit.
I hate this. Whatever this enemy is that does like this weird thing that shoots above and below itself. I hate it. Yeah, I don't know. I
guess I'm probably still like a couple years away from getting an FPGA device. I'm sure I will eventually, but what I really want is an analog NT that has slots for, NES, Famicom, and Super Famicom all in one.
There was some news talk about people 3D printing cartridge adapters for the NT Mini for the different
How do you
cores.
3D print with wiring?
Well, you would 3D print the shell, and then you would make up pass-through. There isn't much wiring in most cartridge adapters. Like, I have an NES cartridge adapter, and it's sort of
you gotta
just
connect the lead into the lead out.
Well, yeah. Well, not unless it's all one piece. If it's one, I guess if it's adapting the pins, I suppose it does. But I mean, people are talking about 3D printing a shell and making a board that would, that would do whatever, ColecoVision and Atari 2600 and a lot of that's a boon for me too. Like, this is way cheaper than getting an NT Mini with all those cores, right? Because the NT Mini is really, really expensive. The idea of, like, there's, like, modding my, my Atari 2600 to display on my current TV would be a big pain in the ass. And expensive.
I can't be in this cave. I have to get out of here. I have to leave. I have to get out of this cave right now.
What's in the cave?
Horrible things that are killing me very quickly. There are some really tough areas inside caves in this game.
Yeah.
There's one cave right at the beginning of the game where, like, a thing killed me in one hit the first time I visited, and then I went back after I'd beaten the second boss, and they were still killing me in like 2 hits. I was like, and this is a different anyway. Sorry, I'm freaking out a little bit. Also, the caves are very dark in this game, like completely dark, and you have a lantern, but you can't equip your strongest weapon because you can only do one-handed ones with a lantern. You can't have a shield. Yeah,
Remember what Dark Souls 2 was going to do and then didn't.
Caves are fucked up, man. Dark Souls 2 has the whole area where it's all dark.
No, Dark Souls 2's whole gimmick was caves are, like, areas are going to be dark and you need the lantern, and you never did.
There's one whole area in Dark Souls.
One area.
You need a whole area lantern.
There are areas in Dark Souls 1 that are like that.
Also, if that stuff had been in the game, all anybody would have complained about was the fact that you had to manage your lantern all the time. So.
All right, I'm moving on to something else. This game, these one-hit deaths are getting to be too much.
Yeah, like I said, it's a great concept, but you should play VVV instead.
Yeah.
Apparently.
I'm not going to play that right now, though. Someone mentioned Mighty Final Fight, so I'm going to do that.
I want to take off, so happy birthday, Joe.
Thanks, Mike.
How old are you today?
I'm 36 years old today.
All right.
You finally caught up to me.
And after 3 months, I was able to catch up. It's amazing. Mike, I'm probably going to do a stream with the Mister when I get it, and we can talk more about it then. I'll give you a heads up by email when we do that.
It's a date.
All right, cool. Sounds good.
Good night.
Mister?
Mister kind of sucks. I mean, if we're being honest, you know.
Man. There's some cool looking shit in this game.
Mighty Final Fight. Let's see. I'm gonna check on these. This here chat. Sky Reynolds says I bought the Genesis 007 game last night. I didn't even know there was one. I think there's two actually. There's a racing game like 007 The Duel or something, and then there's the action one. Rhino Narcissus Skater Die on Game Boy is like if Tony Hawk was a platformer, and it's just as bad as that sounds.
I mean, there is a portable Tony Hawk game that's pretty good.
I feel like the GBA version of Tony Hawk 2 was pretty good.
Yep, I played that. I streamed that last year for Extra Life, and it was hella dope.
Yeah, that game. I got that game when the GBA first came out. I think I got Fire Pro Wrestling and Tony Hawk 2. I think were the games I got for the GBA when it first dropped. Nexus Creed asks Armored Core thoughts. I haven't played much Armored Core. My friend John is like an Armored Core.
Hey, Morbid
fanatic.
Coffee, what do you think about Armored Core?
Yeah,
I wish I would make a new one.
Didn't you? You got way into that Xbox.
I really got into the last one, and then it died because no one bought it, and I got really sad.
I was gonna buy it, and then you were like, "Don't bother, nobody's playing it anymore," so I didn't.
Well, isn't there a new thing coming up for the Switch that's from some of the people who?
It's from the original creator of Armored Core.
Yeah. Riot.exe says it's my Wu-Tang birthday. Protect your neck.
I really liked Armored Core for the PvP, and that new game doesn't look like it has any PvP in it. That makes me real sad.
Alright, that's fair.
I'll probably still play it, but
yeah, I mean, you should. I'm also, man, when is that Metal Wolf Chaos re-release dropping? That's supposed to be happening soon, right? I'm gonna play as Guy because Guy. Here's a fun fact about Guy. I have a Twitter account called Guy Facts where I just tweeted facts about Guy from Final Fight because there were all these weird lame Twitter accounts that were like man stuff, man facts, Guy knowledge, and I was like, I'm gonna make a Guy Facts Twitter account.
Didn't you hear, Joe? Masculinity is under attack.
Yeah, right.
You're not allowed to be drilling anymore, you know what I'm saying, dude?
Right. I mean,
bro.
Except you are, it's just that you're not expected to be, which is totally fine. Anyway.
No, man, you're allowed to. It's the...
Yeah, the feminist conspiracy is sapping our...
So you can't use your tongs anymore, you know what I'm saying, bro?
I use tongs all the time. I use tongs for steaks and I use a spatula for burgers.
Not like you would have back in the day, man.
Steaks.
Yeah, to turn steaks over, I use tongs.
I thought you said snakes.
Oh yeah, yes, I also use tongs to catch snakes. I also do that. But anyways, Guy, really I think should actually be pronounced Guy, because he's named after Fugazi member Guy Pizziotto.
Oh.
Which is also why he was given like Chuck Taylor style shoes in later games and like Street Fighter Alpha and stuff, as a tribute to punk rock superstar Guy Pizziotto. So that's why I'm playing this guy, because I like Fugazi a lot. Nexus Creed says, dude, you just made my Christmas, and I don't know why, but I mean, or maybe Coffee did, or maybe Eric did. One of us did, and whichever one of us did, I think.
He's gonna buy some tongs and reclaim his masculinity.
That's what's gonna happen.
Okay, go get some steaks.
Yeah, he's gonna use his... Right. Okay, guys, I have a really good idea for a video game. You're a dude with tongs, and there are snakes coming after your grill, so you have to use your tongs to fight the snakes off. I think it sounds like a money
awkward
idea.
Controls, like
it's got awkward motion controls. You have to hook up a Wiimote to your computer, and then you have to pinch the A and B buttons to like close the tongs. So that's how it works. What do you think?
That's how it works.
Nexus Creed asks if I ever played Missile Defense. If any of us ever played Missile Defense 3D for the Sega Master System. I'm aware of it, but I don't think I've ever played it. That I can think of off the top of my head.
Found a broken pickaxe. Oh man, my inventory.
Can you
is
fix
full.
it?
Probably. There's a crafting station. I'm gonna drop something. I have too much stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, Mighty Final Fight, it's a game that I didn't really play much back in the day because it came out after I had moved on to the Super NES and the Genesis, but,
I messed around with it at one point for a little while.
Yeah.
It's alright.
I mean, it's a brawler with an experience system, which I don't love. Like, the original Double Dragon for NES is, like, not great, and partially that's why, because there's an experience system.
What about River City Ransom, Joe?
Well, River City Ransom, does it really have an experience system, or does it just have stuff you buy that levels you up?
Leave me alone! Leave me alone!
No, I'm gonna hold your feet to the fire on this. I'm not gonna leave you alone. Yeah, I don't know. River City Ransom is different because it's more open world. It's not strictly linear, right? So, and you're customizing your character as you go, not just like, oh, I gained a level and I got one new move, kind of thing, you know. I will not bow down before you. Don't you know I ruled the streets? I didn't know that. Those who offend me must die. See, the dialogue sections are pretty fun.
Oh.
Yikes.
Coffee, remember those guys in Dark Souls 2 that run up to you and touch you and then explode and kill you?
Yes.
This game has some of those guys in it.
Purple Dawn.
Didn't Serious Sam pioneer the guys who run up to you and explode on your
Yeah,
face?
but those guys had the decency to scream a lot
Yeah,
beforehand.
yes, they surely did. Which is weird, because don't they not have heads, if I remember correctly?
I have no head and I must scream.
Yeah, I guess.
I wonder. I'll have to look and see if there's a way we can play this together, Coffee.
Not on the
That's my
PC.
point,
Does it have
but
it doesn't have online multiplayer?
It does have
yeah.
online multiplayer, but apparently the PC port multiplayer is broken right now. I looked into it today.
It's annoying.
Because I've been running with no AI companion but connected online, and I have not seen a single person in the game.
Do you only get people if you don't have the AI companion?
You can, but I've heard people playing on Xbox say they had a better chance turning the AI companion off and getting paired with people.
So sorry, this is a thing that's out, right? It's not an early access
No.
or a demo.
Nope.
I feel like this kind
It's
of came
out
out of
on,
left
only
field.
on the Epic Store.
Oh, it's only in the Epic Store.
Well, it's also on console.
Riot.exe says, "Oh hey, it's Thrasher." Yep, yep. Can't have someone named Dan. I like how this version, even in the US, restored that you can like batter women, even though they were like, can't have that in the Super NES version, but for the NES version, they're like, no, we're putting it back in. You fucking beat up ladies now. Nexus Creed says, "I will Sodom eyes you." I think you mean you will katana eyes me, sir. You guys ever seen?
What's your favorite Sodom album, Joe?
I don't know. I was actually just gonna ask if you've ever seen Meet the Feebles, which is Peter Jackson's like super fucked up like Muppet movie.
I don't think
There is a puppet. It's so weird and so great. And there is a puppet fox that sings a sodomy song towards the end. And it is
like Sodomy the Thrash Band, or
no.
Sodomy the song?
It's a song about sodomy. And
Because it'd be fucking dope as hell if was a Muppet that played Agent Orange. Agent Orange. By the way, Agent Orange is the right answer.
Is the correct answer.
Which is what is the best Sodom album. Gonna be like German thrash out there. You know what I'm talking about.
So you like Sodom more than you like Accept? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, I mean, Accept is not really a thrash.
Yeah, I guess they're not thrash. So
I don't know. Probably Creator is the best German thrash. Sodom, Creator, and Destruction. And that, by the way, that is a much better threesome than anything that ever came out of the United States. Suck my dick. Make it happen. I don't know what's the third one and what's the third U.S.
Slayer.
Yeah, I guess Slayer.
I don't know. I like Slayer a lot. I like Megadeth a lot. Megadeth up through like Cryptic Writings, and after that they drove off a cliff. And
I like.
recovered.
I don't know Megadeth. Metallica's great.
Metallica through like through a certain point. It's kind of like this. Like Load. I mean, I know at the time it was like really trendy to talk about how bad Load was, but like it's pretty bad. There's a couple decent songs on it. For the most part.
Those albums are really good compared to what Metallica's done over the last 15 years.
Compared to what came after. That Lou Reed thing they did was a stain on both them and Lou Reed. And I like Lou Reed a lot. I like Velvet Underground a lot. But that was just not.
Cigarette Juice Man says, "Did you guys watch the Game Awards?
Hell no.
So what are you most hyped about?"
I watched the trailers on YouTube after the Game Awards were over. Because
I did watch
spectacle.
it because Alex and with Coffee and I were all. I mean, I didn't really watch it. I had it on the background. We were all kind of hanging out in Discord and playing video games. Chit-chatting about it. I couldn't tell you who won anything. The one thing I wanted to see was they had a live orchestral performance of some of the music from Celeste, the composer.
That sounds like
It's that was the thing that I wanted to see. There were some other decent musical performances that I did see, including one that was a medley of all the different things that they had nominated, which was kind of neat.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't. I think that award shows in general are like kind of a sham. Like something about competing in like art forms like rubs me the wrong way in a pretty significant way. Yeah. And like
I mean, I really enjoy end of the year wrap ups, be they like top lists or whatever. Like I love the way Giant Bomb does it, where it's just like we're just gonna we're gonna go super deep about all the stuff that we didn't get to go super deep on throughout the rest of the year, and talk about spoilers and just like not worry about all that shit. Like I personally feel like that's how I would prefer all of my art discussions to be that way, be it movies or books or whatever. I hate it when people have to tiptoe around spoilers. I find it really obnoxious. But anyway,
also we're in a culture now that is just so like people lose their shit about spoilers, and it drives me totally bonkers.
I don't know.
Like, I got yelled at work from some of my coworkers when we were talking about A Quiet Place, and I was like, oh well, I didn't like love the monster design, and people were like, there are monsters. I'm like, did you watch the trailer? Like what? Like.
Did you see the monsters?
I actually have a friend at work, a former coworker, who we're still on like a chat server together through Slack, and I'm just like, I always like to dunk on him for like just anything tepid being a spoiler. Like, oh man, you know, there's like you know, John Krasinski's in it. That's a spoiler. Like, you know, because he's just super sensitive to that stuff. I was like, it's not that. I'm not that bad. I'm like, you're pretty bad. That shit. So you can't, like, you have to say up front, like, we're gonna spoil the hell out of this thing, so like back out now if you don't want that. But I agree. I mean, I think there's some stuff. The thing that actually bugs me more than that is when the people who make the games or the films or whatever like spoil it themselves way ahead. Like, I'm playing Spider-Man for PS4 right now, and there's a moment that would have been like really dope if I hadn't known it was coming from like a super early trailer for the game showed this moment, and it happens like halfway through the game, and it's supposed to be like a oh wow, holy shit, that's ridiculous. But it's like I saw this at like an E3 demo, like that was like in part of the PlayStation press conference, like they showed this whole chain of events, and so you know that bugs me more than like in the context of a review or a year-end wrap-up being like, you know.
Was it when Uncle Ben got shot?
Yes, it was when Uncle Ben got shot. It was when the spider bit Peter Parker.
Mentioning that Benedict Cumberbatch was playing Khan in that new Star Trek movie a few years ago. It's on the fucking IMDb page, homie. Like, fucking, come on.
Everybody knew going in that he was Khan, and they were like, he's not. And everybody was like, we know he is. He's very clearly is. Also, wasn't that movie fucking terrible?
I don't know.
Oh, but next
it was so. Like a solid C.
Okay.
It was a perfectly average movie.
Cigarette Juice Man wanted to know what we're hyped about from the Game Awards.
Yeah, I did watch that's what I was looking up. I didn't watch any of the trailers, really. He does mention that Obsidian RPG. I'm in for that. I'm fucking... I don't know. Anytime Obsidian is doing anything. Although, now that Chris Avalon isn't like officially associated with them anymore, I'm a little less interested in what Obsidian is doing than I used to be, but...
There was definitely something that I saw in the trailer too and was like, oh, that's dope. But now I can't remember what it was.
But it looks like they are going to make the Fallout game that people want a Fallout game to be, maybe?
Like Obsidian are? That's what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, they made the best of the Fallout games, so... Or at least the one that was the most interesting.
Oh, actually, I'm in for Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, especially if it has online multiplayer on Switch. Like, that's the thing that I'm very much into. Because the first two of those were pretty good. I mean, it's Diablo with superheroes, which is, you know, works for me.
Okay.
Although it's weird that Team Ninja is developing this one, because the first... The X-Men games that sort of served as a backbone to that and the first Marvel Ultimate Alliance were done by Raven Software, and then I don't remember who did 2. And now the third one's being done by Team Ninja, which is like, it's like a Western game franchise, and the Japanese devs are doing it. So that seems kind of weird, but like, whatever. I'm down. I'm in for it. That's a big. I feel like that's a big get for Nintendo to get like that as an exclusive on the Switch, just because like now more than when the first 2 Marvel Ultimate Alliance games were released, like that Marvel's IP is worth like a lot more, you know. So having that as a Switch exclusive is like a good grab. Which like that's the platform I'd probably want to have it on anyways. Because really, I'm kind of getting to the point where, like, if something is multi-platform, I'm getting it on the Switch unless I hear
there's gonna be
like,
Persona
like shit.
5 music in Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah. Well, and Joker from Persona.
Who gives a fuck about that? Music.
I mean, a lot of people do. I don't, but a lot of people do.
I'm incredibly sick of Smash Brothers.
Already?
Didn't you just you just bought it like 3 days ago, didn't you?
I have a coworker who, for 9 hours straight, non-stop in work, does nothing but talk about Smash Brothers every waking fucking minute, and I can't stand Smash Brothers anymore.
Remaking Crash Team Racing.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I'm into that too. And it's not like a new... It's like a remake of the OG Crash Team Racing, which is better than the later Crash Racing games, which are actually not called Crash Team Racing anymore, if I remember correctly. They were called something else.
I'm trying to think if there was... I'm looking at all this stuff. I mean, Coffee and I played a bunch of the new PUBG map on Saturday night. We played for like 3 or 4 hours. That new map's real good. I really like that new map. It's the best of the crop of new maps that they put out.
The new Supergiant thing looks good. We were talking about that a little bit earlier.
Oh, that Hades thing? Yeah, that was pretty fun. I don't know. I'm not the biggest Supergiant fan.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they're like the best ever or whatever, but I liked the first one, Bastion. And this seems like it's that, but like a roguelike, so that could be good.
Yeah. I didn't like. I thought Bastion was okay, and then I didn't play any other ones.
Nexus Creed says he's gonna eat a brownie for my birthday, and I should make a wish. Well, I can't tell you what the wish is, right? Because it won't come true, but I will make a wish.
My wish is that you enjoy your brownie.
Yeah, I mean, I hope you enjoy your brownie.
And I probably break a tooth or something.
And he says 2019 is my year or our year. I'm not sure. He says your. I don't know if he's referring to me or all of us. The On the Stick. 2019 is the year of On the Stick. So I'll take it.
Eating with
I mean, we
Luigi
should
now, aren't we?
We should crest 5,000 subscribers at least in 2019. So that'll be fun. Hey man, I was all about the year of Luigi. I have a shirt that's got pixel art Luigi on the front and it says 30 up on the back. I'm all about the year of Luigi. I'm about Waluigi never being in Smash Brothers. That's what I'm into.
All right,
It's my kink.
Coffee. Here's my argument for why you should keep an AI companion with you. Because
Why?
then they'll carry a lantern around so you don't have to.
Well, I bought
But
the
you're probably-
artifact.
Yeah,
that-
you're probably not underground too much yet, but once you get there, you'll...
Oh, I bought the artifact that lets me do multiplayer puzzles alone. So I'm pretty dead set on not ever having a companion in this game.
When you get into the caves, you might want somebody to carry a lantern around.
Oh,
I don't really like the one-handed weapons. I like the two-handed axes more, so...
or you also played Dark Souls with a giant club.
True. None of the clubs in this game are big enough, though.
Rhinonar says Bad Dudes is a poor man's final fight. I mean, they're kind of different, but I'll say that
The thing
generally
about the NES Bad Dudes is that it's not really good.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much,
a very
right?
good
Like,
name.
it's just not a very good game. It's a game with a good name and some meme-worthy.
It is a game with a great name. It doesn't have a whole hell of a lot else.
Are you a bad enough dude to save President Donnie?
No.
Nope. I'm gonna stay at home.
Man, I should go cash these souls in. Should be here. It's a
I
mistake.
just found a bludgeon.
So, are you sure that you can cash in those souls, Eric? Is it going to be like the bank in Hollow Knight, where like they'll steal your souls if you keep putting them with somebody? Nexus Creed says Waluigi for Smash Ultimate DLC. No, never. I'm telling you, my kink is Waluigi never being in Smash Brothers as a playable character, just so they can watch other people like squirm about it. I actually don't care at all if he's...
Or Waluigi.
Wah.
He's a lover, not a fighter.
Is he? I mean,
Yeah.
I guess, yeah.
I hear he's a hell of a tennis player. Man, this game... I feel like this game is the thing that everybody criticizes beat-em-ups for being, which is like, this is the whole game right here. Just pressing B over and over again. There's really not a lot of strategy. There's
B for beat 'em up.
Yeah. Not a lot of strategy, not a lot of mixing it up to do, other stuff. I think we might call it on that one too. Let's see here. What else do I want to? Maybe I want to change systems now. Maybe I want to switch out.
I'll need assistance to open this door.
Go Super NES for a while, maybe.
So, Eric,
What's up?
you need another reason to like this game.
Not really, but if you want to give me one, then
If you make enemies hit each other, there's infighting like Doom.
Oh yes, I did see that. Yeah. There are like factions that will just like fuck each other up, which is kind of cool. I think Alex just joined the chat.
Oh, hey, Alex.
No, it's not. Hey. Oh, it is. All right.
Cigarette Juice Man says, "I hope Waluigi gets a standalone game and that it's
I
horrible."
thought
just to
that's what
hear
you were
Dan
calling
Reichert
Anthony.
cry. That seems legit. Yeah,
Somebody joined.
it's Anthony.
Is it really?
Hey,
Anthony.
no, it's me, Alex.
Hi, Alex.
For a
It's weird
second,
that
I
your
thought you were
voice
calling.
is way deeper than it normally is.
Well, I've been hanging out with Kurt.
Do a voice training with
But
Kurt.
yeah, deep voices are contagious.
Yeah, that's how that works.
Especially when you're doing what we're doing.
Talking to each other a lot?
Yeah, I don't even. I can't even decode that.
Sounds innocent enough to me.
Does it? Does it really? Oh man.
How
LBD
dare
Night
you,
Train
Joe.
in
Alex
the
is an innocent
Discord.
snowflake.
Right. In the Discord, LBD Night Train posted a artist rendering of the realistic Sonic, and it's horrifying.
It's lovely.
Yeah.
I especially like that it's brown.
Yeah, because I mean that it looks more like a real.
Yeah, it's realistic now.
Realistic. All right, I'm switching systems here. We're gonna move from the
Are you gonna...
NES to the Super NES.
It's like the NES, but it wears a cape.
That's right.
Man, I am
Right
just
over there.
full up on sapient moss. I got so much sapient moss, it's like coming out of my butthole.
That sounds profoundly uncomfortable.
Fuck spider.
Well.
I got the smartest butthole on the planet.
I don't know that anyone can prove you wrong.
Huh? No, that's what I mean.
Would you want to?
Look, ask my butthole anything.
You have to have.
No.
The answer will be at least as good as anyone else's.
I'm not being lured into this trap.
Not again.
Never again.
Bye-bye.
Riot.exe says Sonic CD tried to warn us about humanoid Sonic. And Nexus Creed says, please do not invite me to your Discord server ever. A lot of weird shit goes on in our Discord server, let me tell you.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I feel like that's happening right now, in fact.
I'm just now all I'm thinking about is 1 hour of possums eating bananas at ASMR.
Yeah, that's a weird thing that happened in our Discord server.
Holy shit.
Better or worse than the possum bongos?
Oh man, oh man.
To be fair, whatever the reason is there to have
this 2 seconds.
Dolly Popka says it sounds like an interesting Discord. It's something, man. It really is. It's a Discord server. It's something. Okay, so
It's an accurate reflection of the personalities that inhabit it.
Yeah, yep. If you've ever wondered about ASMR Doom shotgun reloading, let me tell you.
I believe it's sensual ASMR.
It is.
Of course it is. Of course it is. Let's see here. Nexus Creed suggested Contra 3. Sure, why not? Started with Contra. Let's start with Contra 3 on the Super NES. Another game that I do own, but again, using the flash cart just for ease of use.
Uh-huh. Yep, whatever you say.
Yeah, whatever I say.
Thief.
Yeah. I don't know. Is that even a game that you could give like Konami money for at this point?
I think it's on the Wii U Virtual Console actually. So yes, it's
Okay.
on the Super NES Classic Edition as well.
Ah, okay. That's right. It is.
So this is a weird progression in the chat. So
Man, I am just
Dolly Popka was talking about our Discord, but then Nexus Creed responded to the weird shit we were saying and said my butthole feels cleaner already, and then Dolly Popka said sounds like mine.
Okay.
So I don't know if he's talking about his butthole or his Discord server. So this game was part of our Super NES draft. I believe this was my first or second pick in the Super NES draft. I actually just played about this because I was capturing room for it. So I just played a bunch of this. Let's see here. Give myself max lives, and I'm actually going to turn up to hard because if I do get close to beating it, you have to play on hard to see all the stuff. So.
Oh man, the music's going fucking wild here. Something bad's about to happen. I don't like this.
The music's going to go wild right here because.
What you gonna do?
Contra runs wild on you. Just dying right out of the gate.
That's less embarrassing.
It's less embarrassing because I don't know.
Also, this game is just harder than the first one. Even though your starting weapon is quite a bit better than the starting weapon.
I also just like picked up a weapon over my weapon. This is disgusting. Am I blind? Like, what is happening?
We're getting up there in age.
Listen, whippersnapper, aren't you finally turning 30 soon, Coffee?
I still have a year.
Oh, I refilled my crimson gourd.
I do like the NPC that always talks about gourds.
Crimson Gourd sounds like a parody.
King Crimson Gourd.
They just do like metal parody songs about Halloween. On jack-o'-lanterns.
Metal parody songs. I Halloween.
That was disgusting, frankly, that I can't believe I did that poorly.
Yeah, you need to work on your Keeper of the Seven Keys references. I'm totally lost. I'm so
I'm
fucking
just
lost.
starting
in this
over because
cave.
it'd be a waste of it continue to.
I have a million Scalia or whatever the fuck the currency is in this game, and I don't know how to get the hell out of here.
A couple people in the chat said let's attack aggressively. Let's attack aggressively.
Oh shit. Shit. Yeah, kill him. Oh, don't try and... Oh, no, okay, fine. Gotta run, run.
You know what? I'm just going to turn the difficulty down to normal. Start over because apparently I'm talking and playing this game.
Get it off, get it off, get it off, get it off, get it off. Where's my buddy?
Sky Reynolds says there's a spot in the 3rd level where you can load up on extra lives by killing Hawkmen. It takes several minutes to max out though. Yeah. Big difference here. Part of the enemies.
So they're harder.
Yes. They're not bullet sponges.
Harder. They attack more aggressively.
Oh, God.
That's Kurt.
Yes, with helium.
Hi, Anthony.
Hi.
I saw 3 in a couple of reviews this time.
Oh no. Hey Joe. Happy birthday. Made it just under the wire.
Yeah, saved.
I forgot that I didn't have a buffer. I thought I saw it like 3 hours.
I thought that barrier was gonna last a little bit longer than
What now?
Barrier. He thought it was going to last long.
it didn't.
How do you youtube.com
YouTube
Slash
/c/e/stick/live.
/c live or live?
I guess I could make the.
Now, see, you should have said either or either.
Yeah, that's true. Damn it. Well, there's always next year on your birthday.
What'd you get Joe for his birthday? Bad wordplay, yay!
He loves
You guys
it.
give me that all the time, so it's almost not even really a gift. It's a street
Yeah, but it's a
flamethrower.
special bad.
You are a little weirdo. Come here.
Take coffee. Let's play Smash.
Fun.
Hell yeah, let's play Smash.
Let's do it. But you can't play it. You don't love Nintendo enough.
I've been banned.
Yep, they know.
It's true.
We got your face behind the counter at the Nintendo store.
My check's always bouncing. I always say mean things already, so.
Yeah, actually, getting back to the Game Awards thing, the one thing that I did like to Sonic Fox, is that his name? One esports which is, you know, a departure from
First you won esports award, you did win the trending gamer, which is
who was the trending
the guy that plays Fortnite all the time.
Ninja or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder what horrible thing Sonic Fox made.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Playing Smash Brothers.
Or worse things.
Switch over. I was having fun with Ashton, but
I don't know who that is.
Ashen Blade.
it's the Pokemon tournament.
Oh,
Ashton Cut.
I'm alright, then I'm playing that too.
I went back to the town. There's a house. And the Russian lady has a pet now. Best character in the game. Yeah. The Russian fisher lady.
Why is she going so fast?
Saw the Sonic poster.
Oh, I see, yeah. She saw the new Sonic trailer.
Yep.
Yeah.
Aren't you currently?
on Smash Bros.
Nice stuff.
You're hanging out with Russian.
I was.
You meant me. That's my username in Smash.
Russian lady with hat.
So what do you guys think? Will coffee like, get past where I am and add me by tomorrow night?
Yeah, probably.
No, because
Coffee,
I'm
do you
working the
work
next 2
tomorrow?
days.
Yeah,
I'm working
okay.
the next 2 days.
That's
It
the
doesn't
question.
matter.
Says people locked in the stages, but it's fun, but not terrible. Yeah, they're not terrible. I don't think knocking them is not necessary, but they're not. I mean, they're fine.
Oh wait.
They're functional.
They were cooler back in the day.
Yeah, I mean, the Mode 7 was real. It's like, oh wow, look at that. Look at that rotates.
Coffee, do you want to make a area or should I?
What do you want to do?
I'll make one.
Let's see the flamethrower.
See now in his old.
In store for you, Coffee. You're next.
Oh no, I already forget too much. I'm already there.
Okay, how do I turn off the time limit on stock battles?
You don't.
Yes, you can.
Wait,
There is,
I think
like,
time
really
limit automatically
extensive-
went off.
You can make your own rules.
Yeah, but it won't let me turn off a time limit on stock.
That's probably because it's online. They
Yeah.
don't want people just.
Can you just make the time limit like an hour or something? Like,
10 minutes is the max.
last time around to smash it.
He's a tantric smasher.
Yeah.
Oh no, a new foe has appeared. I can't join you guys. Just have to make this fun.
Oh shit.
It's Pit. Go away, Pit.
Offline, you can set it up to 99 minutes or in. Online,
Okay.
it's only 1 to.
Wait, Eric, are you actually playing Smash Bros?
Yeah.
I thought you didn't like Smash Bros.
I don't know what I'm
Why are
doing.
you playing? What the hell's going on?
No one that plays
Are you gonna
Smash
play- are you
Brothers
gonna play
actually
with
likes
us?
it.
Up is
Yeah.
down, left is right, fucking we're through a looking glass. Eric's playing a fucking Smash game.
I mean, I like the GameCube one, right? And then I didn't care
Oh,
for
you're
the way
one
the
of
Wii
these
one
people.
played at all. But this one feels more like the GameCube one to me. It's not nearly as mushy. And I never touched it.
The Wii U one was really good. Like it felt good. The Wii U or the Wii one did not feel good.
Yeah, I hear the
Yeah, same.
I also like just fucking suck at games. I didn't get the Mapos, but I didn't even know what most of these characters are, like these spirits and stuff. I don't know what half of this shit is in this game. I thought I know things about video games, but apparently I don't.
I mean, to be fair, they're pulling from the bottom of the well for some of the spirits.
Alright, so how do I play with you guys?
Because then he has to make an arena.
Yeah, you go online, Okay. Are you still whatever your name was from?
Cephalogod?
Yes. Excellent.
Is that like a sea sponge that's a deity?
That was my Splatoon 2 name. Was squids or cephalopods, but I was the best of them. I was the cephalogod.
Yep. It's good.
I forgot that you guys got down
So what like does Coffee gets 1 life and Anthony gets 3 and I get 5? Does that sound fair?
I'm terrible at this game, so
Yes.
You're definitely better than anyone else.
He's also a liar.
Right. Whenever he says he's terrible, that means he's only like top 10%. He's not one of the best players.
I've won 2 matches online and lost like
Out of-
every
How
other
many of
match
them
for the
were
last 3
against?
days.
How many of them were against Anthony?
None.
2.
We haven't played together yet.
I just don't understand Smash Bros. Anymore.
They're
Is there a lot to understand?
really overwhelmed the first time I played it.
There's also like weird changes they did to the way the game plays that I'm not too much of a fan of.
Alright, I put the code in the Discord. Here, I'll tell you this.
But
Underscore sent
I'll pronounce it to
969.
Everybody who's watching, join their Smash game.
alright.
I'll make coffee in there.
Wish I had
Looks
played.
like you.
Nice. Exactly like
Cute
oh, fuck.
anime girl. She doesn't have glasses though.
Try to bring out my main character.
I don't know. I generally just leave it on random.
That's the way to play it. The way to play Smash is as many chaotic, ridiculous elements as possible.
Well, yeah.
And I used to work with people, we would play at work. These guys were like, no man, final destination, no items. And like,
That's the worst way to play Smash
I'm not
Bros.
playing with you guys if that's how it's
Right.
because that is no fun.
I have no ego whatsoever with this game, but I feel confident in saying I'm better at this game than they are. Because I can deal with one element out of place.
Saying I'm picking my main character, I'm just picking this stupid I made earlier because I loved it. Anthony will love it too.
It's a stupid thing.
Correct.
Anthony, did you watch my 1 hour possum tea bananas ASMR video?
No.
I don't get it. That's
Did
not
you
calming.
Did you watch the 17 minutes Doom slowly essentially reloading ASMR video?
That one's
I
good.
did not.
That's good stuff. I didn't watch all 17 minutes.
Joe, what did the Terminator ever do to you that you're I'm watching the stream right now?
He tried to immolate me. What do you mean? What
Tried
did
to
he
eat
ever do?
you.
He's doing it right now. You're watching him do it.
He's just chewing his food.
You should scroll through the Discord chat, Anthony.
Oh boy.
You can see some great things like fan art of Vegeta eating an order of blazing hot wings at Buffalo Wild Wings. He heard Goku can eat them easily, but he's having trouble eating them, but he won't stop because of Saiyan pride.
What was the other one? The McDonald's employee gives you and then eats your food?
Oh yes, the McDonald's kosher ASMR takes your order and then eats your food.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
ASMR triggers with tiny hands. Oh god.
Alright, where is this ASMR video?
They're all
You have to
on
go
just
back.
scroll up.
You have to scroll up.
I am.
Even if you don't
Oh,
want to
man.
find them.
Here we
you'll
go. I
find
found
them.
him. Oh, I found him.
I have a chewing thing.
Oh, God.
It really is. I'm listening to someone chew.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. No, I'm with you on that, but I'm still listening to this.
I'm like, those possums are
You
very
can
cute
hold
and
on until
everything.
Eric gets in this stupid game.
You know, I get it. Boston's are cute. And they are cute. And if you watch them,
I don't even think they're that cute.
Anything that eats ticks, mosquitoes, and those places. By some standard or another.
Okay.
I completely forgot that Eric's being satanic ASMR.
Hey,
That
Eric.
was really good screenshot, though.
Yeah.
What's up, Anthony?
Are you playing or not?
How do I don't know how
Go to the
do-
online part.
do you send me an invite?
We're still buddies, right?
It's Nintendo, there's no invites.
Yeah, but you
To
can't.
voice chat, you'll need a smart device with the Nintendo Switch online app.
I can prove that that's not correct.
Or right.
What's the password?
It's in the Discord chat.
Butts,
should-
butts, butts.
No, text to speech again.
You gotta tell
I
everybody.
can. Yeah, I'll text to speech it again.
We'll announce it again, that's for the second time.
It's fine because
Nexus
if Eric
Creed
gets
said-
there first.
Nexus Creed said Joe is on fire. Literally, I was on fire at one point there.
Underscore said 969,669.
All
I'm
right.
disappointed it's not a 420.
Hey, you got in.
I
There.
think I'm gonna
Take
wind
that,
this
internet.
down soonish in the next 15 or so minutes. So what should I load up on the Super NES here to close things out?
Error at the Acrobat.
Is there a better
Rock.
game? Maybe?
Rocky Rodent.
Is there a-
Playmates.
I hate you all.
Awesome Possum.
That's a Genesis game, isn't it?
Yeah, there you go. We
I
wanted
don't figure-
possums, right? Are we ready to go?
I guess so.
Would Awesome Possum eat banana for an hour?
Look at these guys picking their characters.
Sensual
How do I pick a
ASMR
character?
of Awesome Possum eating.
You're Mario.
Do I get to pick a character, or
You can right now, I think.
No, you have to.
Right now you press. Oh, do you do it before?
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
know
down
how
at the
to
bottom right on that screen where the ring is.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Why is it everything Nintendo does with online
I know.
utter nonsense and stupidity? It's always this way.
That's true.
Oh,
How many unlicensed games?
Bowser
are
doesn't
there?
do the thing where Bowser doesn't do the thing anymore where he turns into like a jetpack when he runs fast.
Did he
He used
ever
to turn
do
into a
that?
little like tank with treads.
There are more unlicensed Super NES games than I thought.
How do we get out of the water?
You jump.
It's not working. Oh, you know why?
Why?
Because I put change of the controls, but it's tied to a profile thing.
Oh
Every fucking
yeah.
game mode, I have to fucking switch to that, or else it
Yeah.
gives me the default controls, which suck balls.
That's annoying. Sky Reynolds says, "What's a childhood favorite or one you remember from an earlier birthday?" That's a good question. Let me think about that for a second. I already played a Turtles game. Otherwise, I'd probably go with Turtles 4, but I already Turtles'd it up a little bit. Although I already Contra'd it up, and I played another Contra game, but I don't want to repeat myself too much. Nexus Creed says Super Metroid, but like I don't think in 15 minutes I'm not going to get anywhere in Super Metroid that would be interesting.
You can beat Super Metroid in 15 minutes. Come on.
Someone probably can. I sure as hell can't.
Wait.
Maybe he can. I don't know.
Oh.
That's how you play this game.
You know what?
I only pick characters that I can kill other people with.
I can't hit anybody because I don't know what the controls are.
Don't you play Diddy Kong, you piece of shit?
Me?
Yeah, you.
I
Got a peanut gun.
I
If he hits you,
pretty
it's
much
gonna hurt.
phased entirely into playing random.
Okay, good.
So
I know
I'll
you
just-
definitely play Pikachu and you're an asshole. I remember
I
that.
play Pikachu and Wario quite a fair amount.
Is that because Wario farts?
Yes, and also
Yeah,
rides a
he also
motorcycle.
bites.
And he eats people. It's the best.
Anyway,
like?
what I
He's
was
the-
trying to say is happy birthday, Joe.
Thank
You missed
Alex. You missed it. It's 16 minutes, but you know.
916, baby. Where I live, I made it.
That was Anthony was trying to make that argument earlier. I dismissed it.
But I did
Well,
make it.
But
I was
made
at
it
work
like
all
2 minutes to
day.
spare.
And then I came home and ate. And then the first thing I did afterwards is wish you happy
You
shouldn't
birthday.
have
So
eaten.
I got to it
that's
as
cool. That's all good then.
I shouldn't have eaten. You're right. Fuck.
I was thinking about like Super Ghouls and Ghosts is one, but I played a lot of that during October. I did a lot of Ghouls and Ghosts, so I'm not gonna play that. I'm gonna play.
I'm big now. Hello.
Hi.
Are you
Sorry.
big? How big?
I didn't know what I was doing. I've never done that before.
Default controls in this game are nonsense.
What game?
Smash Brothers.
Wait, do you have a Switch, Eric?
You're serious?
Yeah, man, he's the Cephalogod.
Oh, I didn't know that. I haven't played that game because I don't care about it.
I thought you did. I thought you were into that. That was. The thing
I bought a
that you
Switch like the
played.
day it came out and played Zelda. We definitely talked about Zelda a bunch.
Oh yeah, we have. Okay.
I don't know what I'm doing. Wait, no.
No, I haven't played Splatoon at all.
I feel like my own Pokemon betrayed me there.
There he is. Lonk.
All right. Fair.
Okay.
All right.
Should have played different character.
You know what? We're gonna do some Mega Man X. That's what we're
Alright,
gonna
so how do I change characters?
do. Play a little bit of Mega Man X.
Down at the bottom right, the 2 question marks. You
Another
can
game that I own.
pick a preferred stage
Oh, okay, here we go.
Although technically I don't.
and a bird.
I don't have like any characters unlocked anyways, so.
What about Mega Man X?
I own a copy of it. I'm not sure if I own a cartridge copy of it off the top of my
That
head.
game's
I
good.
I have it in several compilation discs. I don't know if I have a cartridge copy. It is good, and it's the only one that will work on this flash card because
So how
it's
do I
the only one
switch
without
characters?
special chips.
You what?
Nexus Creed said rival turf at one point. I'm not.
How do I switch characters? It just says ready to fight and I can't actually.
Press B. Does that work?
If you have...
Why is Nintendo just so terrible at all this stuff?
I mean, I think this is a market improvement from
the Wii.
Well, I was actually gonna say from.
I'm not gonna pick this coin up and put it in the middle of this ring.
Yeah, that I'm not so into.
Anyway, Nexus Creed suggested rival turf, and that game is real bad. It's a bad beat 'em up.
Play it.
Feeling good about my choice for Mega Man X.
What about Pit Fighter?
Super NES port of Pit Fighter.
Really good.
Yeah, it's classic.
Very strong, and I guess I would use the word powerful also. Yeah. Anyway, just play this dog shit. What is this Mega Man? What? 10? I don't know. Did they make 10 of these?
11 actually has a turn. A lot more
Yeah,
than
that's
that.
true. That's true. A lot more. Yeah. The actual number is probably like 1,000.
When I looked on Moby Games, when I did all my Mega Man videos last year, it was something. It was like in the 80s. They were like 80 some different.
Okay, that's still a lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
I actually just was playing Maverick Hunter X as Vile. I didn't play that weekend. That's like super fun. Like, to do that. It's way different.
Yeah.
Actually, recently I've been on a bit of a kick of playing Mega Man games as not Mega Man. So I played Mega Man X4 Zero. And then I played Mega Man and Bass as Bass, and then I played Maverick Hunter X as Vile, and all those are like that's pretty fun ways to play Mega Man games.
I like playing as Bass because I don't like old school Mega Man as much as I like Mega Man X, and Bass is like Mega Man X in a Mega Man game. That makes sense. Just the dash,
Like,
you know.
also, that game seems like it was designed for you to play as Bass more than as like it's really harder to play as Mega Man.
Yeah, I agree. But I mean, I think also that's like the game is designed where it's designed seemingly for you to have a dash, but Mega Man's just got the shitty crouch dash. And it's like, yeah, well, of course, the one who's got the normal dash is going to be better.
You can also double jump.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
You
Okay.
can fire in 7 directions.
Yeah. He's easy mode, but he's fun.
Yeah, playing as Vile is weird because like his weapon selection is like super huge and he never really runs out of weapon energy and he does regains it back right away. If you recharges it automatically. But like you're locked into the weapons you choose for a stage, right? So you pick 3 weapons for each stage.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. That's what you got. It's kind of interesting to see. Like there were stages that I just restarted because I was like, I did not spec properly for this stage. So I just like
I haven't played that since it came out, so I don't remember what my loadout was, but I remember there was one loadout where I was like, all right, I'm done. That's it for the rest of the game, and just use that. And it was like, oh, cool.
There's like a fist thing that like homes in on enemies. Like he launches his fist off, and it homes in on whatever the nearest thing is, and that was like kind of borderline. Like,
Hey, he launches his fist off Walt.
Yes.
Yeah. John Woo's fist off. I remember. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, what did you say? I wasn't listening. No, I was. I'm just joking.
What the fuck is that thing?
What the hell did you just kill me?
Although
I mostly just wanted to
Isabel with
say
the sword.
John Woo's fist off.
Why
Yeah.
am I
I mean, not really.
You automatically lose this fight. I know this all these years later, and I still like try to fight him for a minute until I'm like, oh right.
Who?
This time's gonna be different.
Yeah. This time for sure, Rocky.
Hey, can we talk about how in Smash Brothers, Paz from Peace Walker is like
There's a bomb?
yeah, is
Yeah,
like
I love it.
yeah,
too.
okay, good. I'm just glad you guys saw that.
Yeah,
'Cause
it made me
it's super
really
good.
happy.
Wait, what are
Yeah.
we? Wait, what? What's the?
So Paz is a character who in the canon of Metal Gear dies
I know who
because
Paz
she
is.
get-
I know who that is, but what are you?
Okay, so her spirit in Smash Brothers, it gives you the ability that you just start the match with a bomb on. So her ability is bomb equipped.
Uh-huh. Yep.
She just has a bomb
Right.
because she has a
Uh-huh.
bomb in Metal Gear.
Yep, I got it.
Yep, it's good.
Yeah.
Also, Ness's dad is just a phone, and it equips of invisibility.
Nice.
Yep.
Let's see.
Should not have taken a drink of water at that moment, but that's good.
Sky
that was
Reynolds
bad.
says, "I love how ridiculously impractical
Great job,
Mega
Eric.
Man robots
I'm a
are."
pro Kirby player. I don't know if you guys figured out what my
I like your whole game plan of flying up and rock some people.
Did you guys see the Onion article about how Kirby is like problematic and shouldn't have been included in the new Smash Brothers? He's like the most offensive. It's pretty great.
Hang on, I gotta Google something.
But Sky Reynolds.
The Onion Kirby, enter. Anyway.
Sky Reynolds says, I love how ridiculously impractical Mega Man robots are. I'm gonna make a giant bee that shoots missiles. Like, yep, that's
I don't really
it's
see
pretty
the
great.
problem.
It's
Yeah, what's the problem with that?
Sky Reynolds says, I remember thinking the first boss was Sigma, and then I was surprised when the game continued after his defeat. Well, you don't defeat him, he defeats you. There's no way, you cannot beat Vile in that first fight, right? He doesn't even have a life. There's no way.
No.
I'm wondering if that's one of those weird things that maybe I just never heard of, where it's like, there's a way to beat him.
Sure.
Do something. Probably is a Game Shark way to beat him. Like, I'm gonna make a robot that's just like a bunny that hops around and fires energy blasts out of its head. I don't know.
Eric, how come you're not Luchador Pikachu?
Good question.
I didn't know that was a thing it could be.
Excuse me.
If you hit the shoulder buttons, you can change costumes. And Pikachu's last one is him in a Luchador mask or a Luchador outfit.
So in Pokken Tournament, I believe Pikachu could do a Stone Cold Stunner. Has that carried over to the new Smash?
No, it's just an outfit for Pikachu.
Boo.
You can
However,
tell
Give
tail.
Pikachu his Stone Cold Smash back. Stone Cold Stunner Smash in Smash. No.
It's back.
Yes.
However, we're all fucking summed up, which is his name is Pikachu Libre.
Oh, excuse me. You're right.
Or maybe her name. I don't know. Is Pikachu a boy or a girl? I don't
You can
really
tell
know.
by
it
its tail.
depends
That's a
on
girl.
whether, yeah.
You gotta push like down on their genital floor, and then like if it's a boy, the dick will pop out.
That's not true, actually. Girl Pikachus have a heart-shaped tail.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's
That's
the
right.
tail.
This
I
is
think I
fact.
did know that, actually.
Or Pikachu.
Well, I learned this. I learned this playing Pokemon Let's Go with my 3-year-old. So.
Did she go?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Wait, what? Pac-Man with a gun is pretty good.
Is Pac-Man with a gun better than Akuma with a gun in Tekken 7?
I think it's one of those like same energy tweets.
You can also be Ryu with gun.
What the fuck?
That's same thing. Ryu with gun, Sagat with shotgun, Akuma with shotgun.
My favorite thing is
Coffee, was
all
it
the
you
same.
who actually shared like a screenshot on Twitter or something of Ryu with the super scope?
yeah, and he's super happy. Somebody else also posted that recently with the caption, "You want some cornflakes?"
So I'm gonna try to put Chill
No,
Penguin.
no, 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 no.
I did not mean to jump into
This game's so dumb. I love it.
I mean, that's sort of the point of it.
I also like that a lot of
No,
characters,
it's a
if you
competitive.
I also like that for many of the characters, if you jump on someone's head, it doesn't do any damage, you just bounce off them.
Yeah.
I wonder if it does damage if you're Mario.
It doesn't, but I can tell you that if you use Squirtle, it's like his side B, the shell thing.
Uh-huh.
You jump on him, he gets flipped upside down like a Koopa.
That's
That's
excellent.
pretty sick. Yeah.
Did you see that thing about how enemies that are weak to water take damage if they're in the water?
Yep.
That's good.
Wait,
That
what?
means that if somebody's
If you're
in the
like
water with
Pikachu,
me, they should-
whose weakness is water, and you swim in the water in the game, he slowly accrues damage. Same with Sonic, who can't swim.
Has that always been the case?
I don't know. It's like, it's not enough to like, you know, change the match or anything. It's like you slowly accrue a percentage or two at a time, but it's a nice little detail. Ouch. See you at the party,
Pikachu
Richter.
is that he can't turn into a rock.
No, he's a
That is his
luchador, not the
classic-
Rock, man.
His classic weakness.
Is that he can't do that?
Right.
I mean, I don't really know how to play characters who don't
You just press down B a lot with Pikachu.
That's what you do with Kirby, except you just jump first.
You do, yeah, exactly. He requires less jumping.
Riot.exe says, but Pikachu is strong against water types. That makes no sense.
Maybe Pikachu wasn't one of them. Maybe the fire wrestling Pokemon. That's the one.
Incineroar?
Big,
Yeah, that guy.
Big Pikachu.
Yeah, big Pikachu.
Big Pikachu energy.
Yep.
Nexus Creed says up next Storm Eagle, but I always went to Flame Mammoth after Chill Penguin. Who's wrong? Am I wrong?
Wait, what?
Nexus Creed in the
Flame
chat
Mammoth is
said
last,
next
dude.
up Storm Eagle, and I said I go to Flame Mammoth after Chill Penguin.
Storm Eagle's first, man.
No, Chill Penguin is first. What's wrong?
Yeah, you gotta do Chill Penguin first.
I guess
You
that's
gotta-
true, actually. Is
You
that
gotta
what
get
the
that,
dash
get
is?
that
that dash,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's true. That's true. Never mind.
Yeah.
Then I guess, yeah, Storm Eagle. Sorry.
That's weird. Okay, I always
The
Flame
dude's,
Mammoth.
dude's hella easy.
Yeah, but so is
Yeah.
Flame Mammoth.
Wait, you can get a...
Here's a secret. So are all of them.
What?
Right, I mean, fair. Nexus Creed says Marth for president. Couldn't be worse than the guy we have now. And Sky Reynolds says I never learned the right order. I was with the Sting Chameleon second because of the armor.
Fuck
That's
Matt
legit.
Robin for president.
What do I have? Oh, I have a rocket back. Fuck yeah.
Riot says Spark Mandrill is weak to shotgun ice. So I don't know. Apparently this is less set in
he is.
stone. This is less set in stone than like Mega Man 2.
No.
Apparently, because everybody's telling me they go with somebody else second. All we know for sure is Chill Penguin is first, I guess.
Right. And that's because of the thing in the middle of the level, not because of him.
Right.
No, it's Chill Penguin. Use the ice against Spark Mandrill. Use the electric against Armor Armadillo. You use his like little ball thing against Octopus, or the fuck his name, Launch Octopus. And then his missiles are Boomer Quanger, and then I think he's Sting Chameleon, and then I don't remember. Oh no, he's Storm Eagle, and then Storm Eagle's Flame Mammoth. Done.
I don't know. I thought Launch Octopus you can cut his arms off with Boomer Quanger's thing.
Yeah.
What?
So
When'd you pick that up?
I don't know.
anyways,
Maybe that'd be cool if you can do that.
you can.
I don't know.
And you can
Batman
cut
can
off
just turn into
Flame
a
Mammoth's
bullet
trunk with it too.
Really?
I don't remember that.
That's sick. I did not know that. I gotta go play Mega Man. Hang on, I'll be right back.
All right.
Wait, what didn't you know?
Then you can like
that from the
apparently
games.
use Boomer Quanger's like little things to cut off limbs of
Launch
multiple
Octopus's
people.
arms get cut off if you hit him with Boomer Quanger's thing, and Flame Mammoth's trunk gets cut off if you hit him with Boomer
Does that
Quanger's
do
thing.
anything?
It limits their attacks. Some of they can't do certain attacks after that. So.
Huh.
Nexus Creed says, I like
Who
the
knew?
Eagles, the band, not the team. That's unfortunate. I
Yeah,
hate
I'm sorry,
the Eagles.
I would just.
Insert Big Lebowski clip here.
That's what I was gonna say. Is I
It's been a
was
rough
just about
fucking
to
night,
say.
man, and I hate the fucking
I
Eagles.
hate the fucking Eagles, man.
Anyways, I'm gonna end the stream now. Thank everybody for coming and hanging out on my birthday, watching me play old video games.
You're
All
welcome.
that good stuff. And we'll be back on Wednesday. Anthony, are we doing the first part of the On the Stick X-Mass exchange on Wednesday?
Oh
Are you
yeah, I
ready?
forgot. Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So come back Wednesday, and we'll be doing the first part of our annual Christmas gift exchange, and we will
Yay.
see hopefully all of you fine people then, and have a good
job,
night,
Duffy.
everybody.
What?